tas d'élames vacarmes s'en va dans l'oubli.
Bonjour, mon ami. Welcome back to The Other Castle.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Andrea.
And je m'appelle Tom.
Hi, je m'appelle Tom.
So we are The Other Castle. We cover the plot, lore, and more of all your favorite video games.
If this is your first time joining us, you can check out our website, theothercastlepodcast.com.
That's theothercastlepodcast.com.
There's links to our Instagram, our Discord, where you can yell at my terrible friend's pronunciation in real time. We have an item shop with some cute stuff, and we also have a Patreon with some extra shows.
Yes, we have 2 shows over there. They are monthly, both on and off season. Starting at just $2, you get access to our Patreon exclusive series, The Other Castle Side Quests, where we cover DLCs, histories, movie commentaries, and so much more.
And at $5 and above, you also get to watch our video series, The Other Castle Plays Around, where you see our faces.
Yes, and we just kind of mess around and do whatever we want.
It's not weird, I promise.
No, it's a little weird.
Tom.
Anyway, we're all here for one reason and one reason only, though.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
It is Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Le gasp.
So Andrea and I both have a couple years of high school French under our belts.
From 20 years ago, so
yeah,
let's
exactly.
I am not the Duolingo here. We're not doing this. If
not
I am,
at
it's not going to be French. Sacre bleu.
Well, Expedition 33 wouldn't exist without its creator, Guillaume Brehaut. He started his career as an intern at Ubisoft.
Ooh.
He would go on to work on a couple titles for them, ultimately landing as a story lead for one of their mobile games, which made him feel like he'd lost his soul.
Oh, no.
So he went to work for Microsoft.
Oh.
Right?
So I'm in the future in this story.
Yeah.
But go on.
I mean, even then, Microsoft is still soulless as fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not gotten better.
But he went in as a marketer, which he also hated.
Oh. It's not for everyone. I get that.
No, he really wanted to make his own stories. So he tried going back to Ubisoft, but then COVID hit, and he was kind of bored, not having much to do with everything shut down around him. So he decided to learn Unreal Engine for shits and gigs as his shelter-in-place project.
God, I wish that was my shelter-in-place project.
I know, right?
You know what mine was? Going to work.
Yeah, we still worked. He fell in love with its ease of use, and reached out to a colleague at Ubisoft named Tom Gearman. They genuinely bonded over the fact they were both French Ubisoft employees, and that was pretty much it.
That's really sweet.
Both were huge fans of JRPGs, and they wanted to make their own. The problem was, they knew from experience working for soul-sucking megacorporations, it could take another 20 years working for them before they had the clout to even pitch a game.
Oof.
So they decided, fuck it. Let's make our own on the side, as it was still mid-COVID, and at the time, they had no idea how long it would last.
Yeah.
To make this game, they took tactics we really haven't seen since the 90s.
Oh.
They reached out to people with absolutely zero experience in gaming.
Huh.
For example, Nicholas Maxon Francombe, the game's art director. He was working for the circus as a set designer.
Oh, this is whimsical.
Oh, whimsical as fuck.
What? They have a ringleader?
Right? No, they have a ringleader. It's kind of Cirque du Soleil. It wasn't Cirque du Soleil, but it was a Cirque du Soleil-like circus.
An elephant-friendly circus?
Yes, elephant-friendly. Yeah, it was all acrobatics and stuff.
Gotcha, okay. That makes me happy.
Right? That's just where it starts, though. There's also composer Lorien Testard, who was a guitar teacher who enjoyed video game scores.
I appreciate that the Venn diagram is so slim of experience to what they need in this role.
Oh, right. This gets insane. For fun, he would write fanfic scores to games he enjoyed.
My brain can't wrap around that.
Right?
But it's amazing that this exists.
He posted one song to a microscopic gaming forum. We're talking 10 members total.
That's a group chat.
One of whom was Guillaume.
Huh.
And he liked what he heard. Within an hour of Lorien joining the forum, he had a job offer. It was unpaid, but still pretty cool.
Yeah. Sometimes you work for free to get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
It sucks, but
All those stories are nothing compared to how they found their head writer. Several years ago, some people listening may remember, NASA reached out to the general public for volunteers to go into isolation for a couple months in order to study the psychological effects for travel to Mars.
Oh no.
Jennifer Svedberg-Yen was one of the selected few who participated in that study, where she had to live in a space shuttle with 2 other people for 2 months, in a garage in Houston.
Oh no.
I mean, it was NASA's garage, but still.
But still.
Outside of being a human guinea pig, she worked in finance and liked to pick up weird side gigs here and there for extra money. One day during lockdown, she was on Reddit where she found a post from Guillaume looking for unpaid voice actors. She had time on her hands working from home, so she threw together an audition tape and scored 2 roles.
Wow.
While discussing her characters with him on Discord, she made suggestions to the dialogue to help make it sound more natural. Then she started suggesting whole-ass story beats. Eventually, she had made so many good suggestions, Guillaume just offered her the position of head writer.
Hell yeah. I appreciate that this guy clearly doesn't have an ego. He's like, no, I'm assembling a team.
Yeah, right? Very special team.
And to take advice from someone you don't know that you met off the internet, but it works and you respect them that much to be like, absolutely. That person is humble. That is a good team leader.
He truly, truly is. Each person he reached out to immediately said yes. Which is crazy because the last time we heard a story like this, it was for Hideo Kojima.
Also, there's so much turnover in gaming. It's
insane.
You certainly would have access to very talented people with experience in these specific roles. But he's like, but I don't want to pay them.
Yeah, not too many of them willing to work for free.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The game he got all these people signed on for wasn't even the game we're talking about today.
Was it Expedition 32?
No.
31.
It was for a game called We Lost.
I'm so sorry. That's such a funny thing to name your first game.
Right? Seriously. It was a Victorian England era JRPG with aliens, dragons, and other goofy shit. It was a rough demo of their vision, but it was enough to get some interest thanks to the polish of Unreal Engine 4. It kind of looked like a Final Fantasy clone mixed with a dash of Persona 5.
Ooh.
An early investor finally suggested they do something a bit more original. So they scrapped the entire project and started over from scratch after over a year of work had already gone into it.
Holy shit.
They did keep a couple of the characters and the designs, but that was really it. Since the classic writing advice is write what you know, they decided to make a game with a French flair, seeing as Guillaume and several other higher-ups were from France. From there, they designed the game to resemble an era in French history known as Belle Époque. Basically, fancy turn of the 20th century France.
Ah.
For the mechanics, they were most inspired by Persona 5's aesthetic, the turn-based combat of Square Enix's Final Fantasies 8, 9, and 10, as well as From Software's Sekiro for its action RPG elements. They made a new demo with these mechanics in place, and started shopping it around to hire on more team members, as well as get some money from investors. Soon after, they made a deal with a group named Kepler Interactive. They are a corporation set up by an amalgamation of indie studios that help publish indie games.
I love that that exists.
But they're very selective about the games they represent. Once they saw that initial build of one of the levels, they signed on right away.
Holy shit.
Kepler opened a lot of doors for them in terms of actors for the characters in the game. This was an area where they wanted professionals, unlike on the development side. They went with blind auditions for every character, and damn, they scored fucking big time. We have Daredevil's Charlie Cox playing Gustav.
Well, he would do good in a blind audition.
Fair enough.
Historically, he's actually nailed a good blind audition.
We also get Jennifer English, who played Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate 3 as Mael.
Oh, wow.
British character actor Rich Keeble for Monoko. Final Fantasy XVI's Ben Starr playing Verso.
Oh, shit.
And to round out the already impressive cast, they also managed to score the legendary Andy Serkis.
The director of Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage?
For a character named Renoir, who, despite being a legend due to his work in mocap, didn't perform a single second of motion capture for the game.
No, come on. You know he comes to set with his own suit.
They could not afford Andy Serkis, the mocap actor.
Oh, this was a financial decision.
Yes, just Andy Serkis, the voiceover artist.
He charges more because he has to pay for that suit.
Yeah.
It's such a pain in the ass to get dry cleaned.
You don't get King Kong for free.
That's fair.
This influx of money also brought on more talent, allowing the team to balloon into the 30s. A lot of rumors started swirling around the release of the game that they had 33 people working on it, but that's just not true.
And feels like a lazy piece of gossip. Like, it's a couple over, shut up.
Yeah, at one point, they did have 33 members, but their final count was about 40 people, which is still minuscule.
It's tiny.
With the amount of time it took to grow, Unreal Engine 5 was released before they really made any headway. So they quickly pivoted to that engine out of a desire to produce a game that could appear AAA without the budget and scope. When Andrea first saw Unreal Engine 5, she was blown away by the fact you could FaceTime yourself into a video game character model.
I still am. That's cool as fuck.
Well, Guillaume was equally as impressed. And you can watch some pretty silly looking behind the scenes footage of the actors performing scenes with iPhones floating in front of their faces via a crazy helmet contraption.
These damn kids and their phones.
Yeah, we'll be sure to post that up on our Instagram. Unreal Engine freed the team up from having to design shit like rocks and trees and allowed them to focus on character and enemy designs instead, which led to the game's insane visuals. Honestly, this was one of the most difficult games to describe for me because of how visually complex it can be at times. Only 5 years after sitting down and recruiting his first team member, Guillaume Roche and his team at Sandfall Interactive released Clair Obscur Expedition 33 on April 24th, 2025 to nearly perfect reviews.
That is a rarity in these years.
93% on Metacritic.
Whew.
It was heralded as a modern masterpiece and immediate contender for Game of the Year in 2025.
Wow.
An award that, as of this recording, doesn't even have nominees yet, let alone a winner. So if you're listening to this in the future, you'll know better than I how that goes.
How's the future going?
Yeah, right? I hope really well.
Let us know in the Discord.
In the first 24 hours, it sold 500,000 copies.
That's massive for an indie release.
An indie release, a brand new IP, all of that. They broke 1 million in just 3 days.
That's nothing. Holy shit. That's runaway success.
As of today, they're at roughly 4.5 million copies.
Whew.
Something a French indie developer has never achieved in gaming thus far.
The team at Life is Strange is fucking mad.
I know, right? Even prompting President Emmanuel Macron to call it a shining example of French audacity and creativity.
Ooh la la. I like the way he phrased that.
To get the president to talk about it, though, that's pretty impressive. Even crazier, the soundtrack took the #1 spot on the Billboard charts under their classical music category.
That's insane.
From music teacher to music legend, all thanks to this banger of a game.
That's so cool.
It's time to pick up your paintbrushes, don your stripy shirt, throw on a beret, and grab a baguette, Goombas.
I love baguettes.
Because this is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The game opens with the camera slowly floating over a stylized post-apocalyptic Paris, France. 2 tall statues of men that don't exist in the real world overlook the shattered city, where the Eiffel Tower appears to be smeared across the sky. Not broken, more like it was melted and warped,
Oof.
then hit with a gust of wind where it froze, sloppily tilted. The Arc de Triomphe split cleanly in two, as if the road it was on had widened on its own until it was torn apart. Buildings are morphed and destroyed, caving in on themselves. Gravity even appears to be selective, as there are chunks of city floating in the air above it.
Oh.
All while a classical-sounding French melody plays over the scene. As the camera gets closer, you can see what appears to be a black ooze-like substance climbing up the wreckage from the ground, as people mill about on the city streets of the once great city. An eclipsing sun appears in the sky behind the floating debris field. In the far distance, framed by the nearby broken remains of the Arc de Triomphe, a towering structure, almost like a rock tree, can be seen with the number 34 shining, golden in color and bright over the foggy scene. People mill about near the arch, all facing the structure containing the number. The camera lands on a man in his mid-30s, with medium-length brown hair and full beard. He wears a nice suit, staring out at the far distant number. Picking up a rock, we see that he has one normal hand and one robotic hand.
Ooh.
With his fleshy one...
Sorry. Calling it the fleshy one was a great distinction.
He throws a rock in the direction of the numbers, and it splashes into the massive body of water between he and the structure. He turns away and plucks a flower from the garden in which he's standing. A bright red rose. A young teen girl approaches, saying that if you're going to give someone flowers, it's best to do it before they wither and die. The man asks, "Do you mean the flowers or Sophie?" The girl says, "Ooh, dark." Sophie would approve.
Oh.
This girl's name is Maëlle, and the man is Gustave. Maëlle says that the others are waiting for Gustave to help set up tables for the festival. Gustave says that they can manage putting up 3 tables on their own. Maëlle corrects him, saying it's 5 tables this year. Gustave throws another rock, and Maëlle asks if he's ever tried throwing with the robot arm. Maybe it's so powerful he could hit the paintress from here.
Ooh.
That would be really useful if he could. Gustave tells the young Maëlle that not all hobbies need to be useful. Today, he's enjoying being useless. Because, starting tomorrow, they'll be doing a lot more than throwing rocks.
Aww.
Maëlle puts her head down, saying that's what all the previous expeditioners said too. Gustave stops her moping, saying that they all died in order to lay down the trail for their own expedition. Maëlle says she knows, but still. Anyway, don't you have a flower to go give to someone? Gustave says he does. He just doesn't know what to say when he sees her. It's been 4 years since they were last together, and today is her gommage. Maëlle is like, "Well, I'm a child, so I can't help you figure out what to say."
You're a grown-ass man. You figure it out.
But the sun is setting, so you're running out of time. This takes us into the prologue, Lumiere.
Clair obscur, tout peu de nature trouvera des faits. Clair obscur, dans des hauts peintures trouvera sans elle. Clair obscur, tout peu de nature trouvera des faits.
Which is the name Paris adopted after whatever the fuck happened here. You take control of Gustave, still overlooking the ocean-like lake between yourself and the glowing 34.
Are you saying it's not an ocean, it's a lake?
It's either one. I'm not sure what it is. It's a body of water.
It's not a lake, it's an ocean.
A hunched-over lighthouse can be seen in the near distance just outside a harbor, as if being sucked toward the mysterious number. You can see that the ships in the harbor are being loaded with supplies. You decide to go see Sophie, grabbing the red rose you plucked to give to her. Maëlle accompanies you, teaching you the basic controls along the way. A unique amalgam of magic and machinery exists in this world. Your robotic arm allows you special powers, such as shooting out a grappling line made out of light that can propel you across great distances, be it up, down, around, through, or over.
Take my fucking arm, I want that.
Yeah, right? Seriously. It's like a magic-based hookshot from Zelda.
Oh, that's cool.
Along the way, Maëlle says she can't believe Sophie is already 33 years old. She looks so much younger than you.
I like that Mael's like, you're a dumbass.
Immediately, right? Which you thank her for saying sarcastically. Mael says that Sophie is really popular. She probably has an entire crown made of flowers by now. You're like, thanks, Mael. Now shut the fuck up. Mael stops you saying that you're too tense. You can't see Sophie all upset like this. You need to let off some steam. So she challenges you to a duel, saying it would do you some good.
You seem stressed out. Do you want to fight me?
Let's fucking fight.
I think if you fought me, a child, you'll feel a lot better. We're not even going to get into the gender politics of this. That's going to take too long.
Yeah, it's just a tutorial anyway, which you'll need as Expedition 33 has a steep learning curve when it comes to combat. They do use the same system created for Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo, but their big inspiration was Sekiro more so, which is who also took their inspiration from Super Mario, so anyway. But yes, you have to parry attacks, you have to dodge them, you can jump over them, do all sorts of stuff like that.
Dip, dive, dodge, duck, and dive. Yep.
All those things. You have to use your best guess as to when you're supposed to dodge or parry an attack. So yes, you will die a shitload while playing this game.
Oh no.
Because you will need to memorize every single attack by every single enemy if you want to succeed, from regular mobs to endgame boss fights.
Oh, I fear I would need a notebook to play this.
Most people do,
Okay.
yeah.
It's like my gut reaction is I will not remember that shit.
I've said it before on the show, and it's sadly still true. I'm not great at dodging and parrying, so this game was hard as fuck for me.
And that's okay to admit.
But holy shit, it's so satisfying when you hit a perfect parry and wall up a bad guy for 10,000 hit points after speccing your character correctly.
Yeah.
Because that's the other side of the combat. After some grinding later in the game, it becomes so broken. I've literally seen people soar past 4 billion hit points in a single attack. The highest number of hit points a character has in the game is 50 million.
Oh my.
So, yeah, you can one-shot like 40 of them.
Jesus.
Obviously, you make these improvements that allow that kind of damage through finding new weapons, armor, trinkets, and skill points in the menu screen, as it's a turn-based RPG at its core. Some characters are all physical attacks. Some are magic-based, and some are combinations of the two. After the tutorial fight ends, Mael says you're looking more relaxed and says she saw Sophie hanging out under the red and white tree.
That's so weird. She's like, all right, now that you kicked the shit out of me, you're looking great. Your girl's down there. I totally was watching her. That's why you beat the shit out of me. Have fun.
As you head toward her, Mael asks you why you waited until today to admit you still have feelings for Sophie. The two of you broke up years ago. Today being her gommage, it's a bit too little too late, don't you think? You don't answer, because deep down, you know she's right. Pointing out Sophie under the tree, Mael leaves you to it, saying she'll be waiting to talk in case things don't go well for you.
I'm here, but only if this blows up in your face. If it goes well, I'm just going to leave.
You're not going to need me. You see a pretty brunette woman under the big tree in the town square. Both the woman and the tree adorned in red and white flowers. While she's not wearing the predicted crown, she is wearing a lei of sorts, made from the petals of the overhanging tree. You approach her as she chats with a group of girlfriends. You ask if the two of you can talk, and she bids her friends farewell, letting them know she loves them. Under the tree, you offer her your flower for her necklace. It's far and away the largest of the flowers, and you wonder if there's even room for it. Sophie smiles, saying there's always room. The giant blossom overtakes most of the surrounding flowers, but it's honestly a flex, if anything. As you affix the flower, you both say simultaneously, I miss you.
Oh.
Then laugh and both say, I miss you too.
Oh.
Again at the same time.
No, I love them. OTP. I'm good. I love them.
She tells you to go first, and you stumble through your opening line, saying obscure shit like, I can't help but think, in a different world and all that. Maybe if we hadn't. Sophie stops you, saying, you still can't finish a sentence, can you? Then she says she misses that part of you. She tells you that she never faulted you for wanting to fight, for wanting to change things. As she says this, 2 young boys run by playing, one of which stops and gives a bow of respect towards Sophie before running off after his friend. Seeing the boy, she says she understands why you want to fight for change. In a different world, right? You promise her that you'll break the cycle. Then she can't steal anyone else's future.
Oh.
Sophie says that stubborn people have a habit of changing the world. And you are the most stubborn person she knows. She starts to walk away, then turns back, asking if you'll walk her to the harbor. You happily agree and join her side. You take control of Sophie now, running through the Expedition Festival, passing by some of those tables Gustav was supposed to help set up, one of which is selling the floral crowns and necklaces a select few other people seem to also be wearing. In speaking with the vendor, an old friend, she says that every year, business gets less and less busy. She's even more upset to see you wearing one of her pieces.
Oh.
Realizing she's probably sold her last for the day, she decides to pack up, sadly saying she'll see you at the harbor. On the way, Gustav says he can't imagine what you must be going through. You insist you're fine. You've lived 33 good years. You've prepared your entire life for this. Everyone is ready. Well, mostly. You see crowds of people as you get closer to the harbor. People wearing flower accessories, hugging friends and family one last time. Overhearing stories about the next expedition. Some people saying that number 33 is rumored to be the final one. Others saying that people gave up hope for the expeditions years ago. They're a failed experiment. Most of the people that volunteer are just wasting the final year of their life by trying. You see friends and say your goodbyes to them, offering bits of advice as you do. The streets have a ton of unsupervised children running around as well.
What a nightmare.
Talking to some, they're mostly all orphans.
Oh.
Some of the kids wear masks that are just planks of wood over their faces, with spiky green hair like the top of a pineapple. They say they're dressed as gestrels, wondering if the mythical creatures even exist, as they're rumored to be found by expeditioners on their way to the Paintress. Saying they'll raise an army of gestrels when it's their turn to join the expeditions, and then they'll use the gestral army to defeat the Paintress once and for all.
Is this foreshadowing?
It's not at all.
Oh, really?
Genuinely.
That's cute.
You pass by a young woman busking on her guitar for a group of onlookers. You run over excited. Lune is one of your favorite performers. You tease Gustav, saying that 2 of them would make a cute couple. He says, if you say so, which makes you realize maybe something already has gone down between the 2 of them.
Ooh.
So you decide to continue toward the harbor, as the sun is getting real low. As you approach the torn-apart Arc de Triomphe near the harbor, you tell Gustav that you actually kind of feel bad for the Paintress. Sure, she's all the fucking way across the water where the big 34 is, but even from here, she's so large, you can see that she's sad.
Wow.
Not angry. It's always made you think that maybe she's just as much a prisoner as the rest of you, stuck in the same cycle as everyone else. Gustav is amazed that even at a time like now, you still manage to have empathy. Nearby, you find Maëlle, who has made her way down to the harbor on her own. She has a bunch of kids with her, all of whom are about to become orphans.
Oh.
So she's setting up a meeting place for after the gommage so she can take them to the orphanage. She has experience, having lost her parents at a young age as well. You wish Maëlle luck on her expedition. It's rare for someone so young to volunteer. You have hope that Expedition 33 will put an end to the cycle, so that no child will be left without parents like this ever again. It was honestly the reason you and Gustav broke up. You didn't want to leave children alone to fend for themselves. Gustav believed the cycle would end before that was possible. But you two broke it off before you could find out who would be right.
Just because he didn't want to wear a condom.
Basically, right? Approaching the harbor with the tilted lighthouse on the edge of the body of water, you see the tall monolith in the distance, bearing the glowing golden 34. Soon, the paintress will awaken, and the gommage will begin. The sun, which has remained eclipsed this entire time, is beginning to set, creating a halo around the number. You point out Gustav's apprentices near the docks, so you two go to join them. It's a bunch of orphan boys that Gustav has taken under his wing, in order to train them up for their own expeditions in the future. They hand Gustav a package containing a custom expedition uniform. You had asked them to make it for him, and even help them sew it. Gustav is flabbergasted. You haven't spoken to each other in years, and you were directly involved in this whole thing with his apprentices? You scold the boys, saying it was supposed to be a secret. They run off, making Gustav promise to come say goodbye when the festival is over. You smile at the retreating kids, realizing that Gustav got his little family in the end anyway. One he's about to abandon to raise themselves while he goes off on his expedition.
Is that kind of the vibe of this game? Oh, something sweet. Fuck you, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
yeah.
That felt like a bottled representation of the vibes I'm getting.
They have a term for it in the game. We'll get to it later.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You tell him to put on the uniform. You help them make it because it was his life dream to go on an expedition. So you want to see Gustav fulfill his dream before you're gone. You tell him that this expedition will be his true legacy. To which he says that this uniform that you sewed will make it yours as well, since in a way, you'll be there with him. Fully adorned in his uniform, the two of you hold hands and walk to the water's edge as the eclipsed sun begins to set. You have a fear in your eyes, but you stand tall and proud, looking out at the giant 34. The harbor stands still, as color drains from the world and becomes black and gray for just a moment. Pigment returns, and the base of the monolith begins to move, revealing itself to be a giant woman. Long white hair extends from the top of her ancient head all the way down to her skinny feet. When she stands, she is nearly eye level with the glowing 34. With a wave of her hands, the 34 fades into flower blossoms that blow away on the wind. It is replaced just as suddenly by a brightly glowing number 33. Tears streak down your face as the fear takes over. Looking around, people wearing flower jewelry begin to blip away in a cloud of flower petals.
Oh.
Children left holding air. Wives hugging nothing. Loved ones torn apart as they disappear on the spot.
Holy shit.
Maëlle holds two children who just watched their parents fade away, comforting them. Gustav holds your hands, telling you that he's here with you. In the distance, the paintress settles back down at the base of the structure, as you turn into petals and become nothing more than a leaf on the wind.
Whoa, too soon.
Gustav drops to his knees, facing directly at the paintress, both weeping openly over the events of the past minute. Back in control of Gustav, some of your expedition mates come over with some drinks to help cheer you up. The best way to grieve is to drink about it, after all.
Yep.
Besides, tomorrow you head out, and day one is at sea. No better way to get through it than to be drunk. At least that's Sophie's BFF Sael's plan. She's on your expedition too, and she's already fucking ruined over the fact Sophie is gone.
Oh.
You tell her to cope her way, you'll cope yours. You don't want a hangover while on a boat. The game then cleverly delivers some world-building history in the form of a trivia contest.
Oh.
Where you learn that the numbers have been counting backwards, starting at year 100, since an event known as the Fracture, which is also the year Expedition 0 first set out across the water towards the monolith. A dumb name, really. Why didn't they call it Expedition 100? The next one was 99, after all.
These idiots.
These expeditions are so fucked up. Everyone just kind of assumes progress is being made year after year. But once these expeditions take off, their fate is completely unknown to those left behind.
Oh, they don't come home.
So even after 67 years, they still have very little knowledge on what to expect.
Just that they have to go.
The only one with any survivors was Expedition Zero, and they managed to make it all the way to the monolith. So they did provide some basic information on what awaits your group, but decades of failure have shown that there's clearly more than what you're told. You find the young Mael and ask if she's having second thoughts about the expedition. She scoffs, saying she's more ready than you are. You tell her that you know she's already made up her mind, but you remind her that there's still 9 more years until she's gamaged, at the ripe old age of 25, making Mael just 16 years old. While that's not a lot of years left, she has more than anyone else on this expedition. There's a high chance she won't come back from this. Mael reminds you that she's an orphan with no friends. You, on the other hand, at least have a younger sister who cares for you very deeply.
God, GLaDOS would have loved Mael.
I know, right? Oh my god. If anyone has reason to stay, it's you. Then she makes a dig at you for basically beating the oldest man in Lumiere now that 32 is the oldest age.
That is kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie.
Then challenges your old ass to a duel so you can practice some more of the game's mechanics.
She's been in a fist fight today.
With him.
Like, there's something happening. I don't love that she's 16.
She wants to kick some ass seriously bad.
She's like, I just think I'm Buffy. If you guys give me, let me cook, I might be Buffy.
There's a chance I'm Buffy, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So after you beat the shit out of the little kid,
Oh my god.
you finish up your night by chatting with the newly appointed commander of Expedition 32, should your crew fail. His new office has a direct view of the paintress herself. Then he says he expects she won't be there much longer. You warn him that statistically, 33 isn't likely to make it. To which the commander says, when one falls, we continue. Wherever 33 leaves off, 32 will pick up and finish the job. He bids you farewell, hoping to see you again. Your apprentices also have a parting gift. A journal, so you can chronicle the adventure that finally destroys the paintress. They'll want this in museums someday. You promise to write detailed notes every single day, just as long as they promise to keep Lumiere safe in your absence. As you finish up with your child apprentices, one of them lets you know your sister Emma just arrived to see you off. She's a local politician, and she's furious at you for going on this expedition, when you could be spending your final year doing something useful.
They're so sibling coded immediately. I love that.
Right off the bat.
Hey, dumbass.
The expeditions keep the morale up with the simpletons, but everyone with a brain knows they're a waste of time, resources, and most importantly, lives. You tell her she should include that in her next campaign speech.
He's like, there, I helped you. Shut the fuck up.
You say that she's doing a great job preparing the final generations for what's to come, but you're going to go out and try to give them a real future by ending the madness of the cycle. Emma laments that the two of you will never see each other again. You scoff because you've seen each other like twice in the last year. It's not as if you're close. Then she tells you to watch after Mael at the very least. It's beyond Emma that you've allowed her to go on this expedition as well. You ask, don't you have a speech you're supposed to be giving or something? Emma goes, yeah, the one you wrote for me. So you tell her to go give it then. You're very proud of that speech after all. Emma stands on a stage before the 20 or so expeditioners, all enjoying the dessert from the going away feast. A slice of chocolate cake with a lit, drooping Eiffel Tower candle on top.
Oh.
The scene becomes a montage of the voyagers boarding their ship ready to set forth, over Emma's speech, which is filled with hope and encouragement, the exact opposite of her true feelings. Emma speaks of the wicked paintress, and how with the full support and backing of Lumiere, these brave adventurers head out to kill her, each with their own reason for doing so.
Ooh. She said, it's personal, you bitch.
Some to explore, others to fight, with most just wanting to protect those still living from ever experiencing the gommage, giving up your final year of life to save countless others. Tomorrow comes, thanks to you, Expedition 33. With that, the boat sets sail. Emma and the rest of Lumiere's residents bid you farewell as the title card fills the screen.
How do you think Emma's speech compares to the Independence Day speech?
There's nothing that compares to the Independence Day speech, and you know that.
So she's not like, Viva la France at the end.
No, nothing like that.
It's not like Les Mis.
Viva la Lumiere.
Viva Lumiere.
No.
Bummer.
The voyage is relatively uneventful, as day becomes night due to the total eclipse of the sun that is still occurring. The boat docks on a rocky crag of an island. Battered and broken ships from the past expeditions can be seen on the stones. As the expeditioners exit the boat and walk on land, the sound of a person walking toward them through the darkness can be heard.
Nope.
It's an old man, with graying hair and beard and a long scar down his right eye. He walks using a cane, which is the sound your crew keeps hearing as he approaches. One of the crew members asks, how is it possible he's so old? How did he survive the gommage? In response, the old man lifts his cane and with an effortless swing, decapitates the crew member using the sword concealed within.
What?
All hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
As the old man summons magical fire to rain down on the scene, turning the beach into a war zone.
What the fuck?
You get knocked to the ground, dazed, and watched a dozen of your crew get evaporated before your eyes.
Evaporated.
Someone lifts you back up and you run for cover behind a boulder with a few crew members. You sit there catching your breath as the others wonder just what the fuck is going on. The scene gets doused with thick fog as some kind of arm rips through the boulder and pulls one of the crew members through the crack.
Oh my god.
The rest of you get up to tear ass out of there, and light hits the others running by your side, disintegrating them on the spot.
Whoa.
Through the mist, a towering, lumbering creature approaches you, its face being made out of human hands clasped together.
Ah! Why would you say that?
The fingers begin to spread like a mouth opening.
Blech.
But an expedition member steps between you and it, slicing at it with the sword, making the creature back off. He tells you to get the fuck out of here before an even larger hand snatches him up, pulling him into the haze.
Oh, this is like the opening of Saving Private Ryan meets Cloverfield. This
Right.
is crazy.
It's insanity. The creature returns, standing tall over you. Its face hands form into a prayer
Ugh.
as it calls on lightning to strike you down, sending the screen into pitch black as the words Act 1, Gustav, appear.
This is why you can't make fun of people for being old.
Right?
They get fragile. Your bones are weaker. Your ego's weaker. Everything's a fucking assault. You gotta just be nice.
But you get that old man strength, which is just unstoppable.
It's terrifying, yeah.
You awaken sometime later, battered, broken, bruised, and still actively bleeding in some cases.
Just a puddle of blood.
You're not on the beach, but somewhere else. There's a waterfall splashing down into a small pond, and you're surrounded by rock walls, trees, and bioluminescent plant life. You feel your heart pound through your chest, and you take a moment to calm yourself as you collect your bearings to figure out where you are and what the fuck just happened. The fog is dissipated, and the battle is long over, so you decide to explore and see if you can find any other survivors. You soon encounter a creature made entirely of stone and wood, the stone forming the majority of the body with wooden vines holding the pieces together, along with the help of glowing blue magic. It attacks without provocation, and you beat it down. Once defeated, the creature bursts into glitter that floats wistfully into the air.
Oh, it's a glitter bomb.
As gravity is even more fucked up out here than it was back in Lumiere. Pieces of land fly high above you, often broken into small floating islands. As you explore, you find the bodies of expeditioners past.
Oh.
All dead, but none of which are rotting. It's as if they were mummified without any wrappings, their skin turning to dark leather.
Ah, they're like in a stasis.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Some date back to the earliest expeditions even. The further you travel, the more bodies you find,
Whoa.
culminating in a mountain of dead explorers.
Oh.
One of whom has a number 33 on her armband, dead at the base of the mountain.
Oh, that sucks.
Realizing there's no hope, you pull a gun and put it to your temple. Trembling, your finger caresses the trigger. Then a voice rings out, "You do that, then we're both dead." You look over and see Lune, the guitarist that was entertaining people at the Gommage Festival. She has dark black hair draped down around her pale skin. Her face decorated with a tattoo running vertically on her cheek, spelling out words in an unknown language. Her bare feet always exposed as she floats inches off the ground rather than walks.
I will judge you if this is your favorite character.
She is great, though. Stop.
It's giving Tarantino.
She's not my favorite character, but she is great.
Well, I know how you feel about feet.
She tells you that it's just the two of you now. Everyone else is dead. So if you're going to get out of this, you'll need to do it together. And your soul will not be able to rest in peace if you knowingly leave her to die. You tell her to look around. The two of you are already dead, just like these poor souls. Lune stands and states the expeditioner's motto: "When one falls, we continue." She tells you to get up. There are Nevrons nearby. A Nevron being those stone creatures that attacked you earlier. They come in all shapes and sizes and are this game's average creature battle. As if on cue, a monstrous four-legged Nevron comes around the corner.
Quadruped.
Likely the one responsible for Mount Foreverest here.
Foreverest. Oh no.
You mutter "putain" under your breath as you stand up to fight this creature alongside Lune.
Did he say poutine?
No, it's putain.
Sounds delicious.
It essentially translates to "oh fuck" in French. After defeating the Nevron, Lune tells you to test your invention on it, a device called a Lumina Converter. Lumina being the glowing blue magic that holds Nevrons together. With it, you're able to absorb the magic from the creatures after their defeat, giving you and your ally the ability to use it in return.
Does that feel like a Bioshock to harvest from the bodies?
Yeah, it's not really. It's a
not
little
there?
different from that.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold off on a Bioshock then.
Yeah. With each of you having different abilities associated with the Lumina powers, it's basically skill points for each character's talent tree. Since the Lumina Converter worked, Lune is filled with hope and says that the two of you might actually have a shot now. None of the other expeditions had a Lumina Converter. Hence, all the dead bodies. You still feel defeated, but Lune insists that the two of you head to the pre-designated rallying point anyway, in case others survived as well.
I appreciate it. You're like, I don't like this, but fine.
I'm alive, so might as well just keep going anyway.
What else am I doing?
The rallying point is called the Indigo Tree, one of the few landmarks they know about thanks to the info received way back from Expedition Zero. On the way, the two of you find a Nevron that appears injured. It's painted white, and while Nevrons can't speak, it's clear that it's sad. You look around and take a bioshot as you find an audio log from Expedition 81.
That didn't take long.
Prompting you to repeat a line from Expedition Training. Learn from the ones who came before, with Lune finishing, and leave a trail for the ones who come after. In the log, the captain says that this is the first Nevron they've discovered that they could communicate with. It's apparently stuck in this cave and can't leave.
Oh.
One of the other expeditioners is suspicious of this Nevron. But what if it changes our entire understanding of the painter? And then you hear the sound of her being gutted by some unseen entity.
Whoa! Whoa!
Lune is stunned to find out Nevrons can communicate. The Nevron in the cave with you begins to speak.
This is not the highlight. I want to get back to the murder.
She's seeing a lot of dead bodies. She's used to that by now. The Nevron says that it was painted to bring light, not darkness. It would never send others into eternal darkness. These people did not die by their hand.
Oh.
You're confused because it said it was painted, which means it was created by the paintress. The Nevron confirms that the paintress made it, which doesn't make sense to you two. Nevrons are there to stop people from getting to the paintress. Why would she make one that doesn't do that? Either way, it's too big to get out of the cave you're in, so you leave it behind. Outside the cave, you see another expedition member running. You call out to him and he turns to see you and Lune. He tries to warn you, but is cut short when a tree root shoots out of the ground beneath him and impales him into the side of the indigo tree.
Why is this Final Destination too? Like, some of these are goofy ass deaths.
They
like,
are, right?
Like, there's a couple that are horrific, like the woman that clearly got like gutted on recording, which is horrifying to hear, but this one's pretty fucking funny.
It's a little silly.
It's some Bugs Bunny shit that a tree came out and got him, you know? It's just silly.
After a Nevron battle, you look around and curse as there's nobody else here at the rendezvous point.
Mailed.
Lune finds a note carved into the tree with a big number 33 over the top of it. The note says that they have Mael and give directions to a new meeting place. You're like, awesome, let's go. But Lune is worried. The note wasn't signed. And it's one of the rules they learned in expedition school to always sign your notes.
It's kind of hard to sign with a knife.
Right. You tell her they probably ran out of time and had to run. Now, let's get going. Mael might need your help if it is a trap anyway. Lune protests, saying that protocol states that you meet at the rallying point and wait 3 days for all members to arrive.
Why is she such a nerd?
Well, it's protocol for a reason. We must follow it. You ask her if the entire expedition dying on the beach was part of said protocol. Because if not, then protocol is out the window now.
Yeah, they don't want to be beach things.
Besides, you're going after Mael with or without her. Protocol also states never to roam alone. So now she has to choose which protocol to break. Stay and wait 3 days, or don't be alone. Not wanting to be by herself in a strange world, Lune joins you. This opens up the overworld part of the map. Up until this point, it's been pretty standard third-person, over-the-shoulder POV. On the overworld map, it's a modern redesign of world maps you would find in games like the Final Fantasy series. It's an isometric map with a God's Eye POV, high above the scene, and miniature versions of the characters can be seen running around.
Oh, that's cool that your POV shifts around.
Yeah, fully. While the game is an RPG, it's one where you can see the enemies on the map, and you can outrun or sneak past an encounter if you don't want to have to fight. There are even mild platforming elements to help keep the gameplay moving. Unfortunately, it's getting late, and Lune suggests stopping to make camp so you can rest. Camps can be set up anywhere in the overworld at pretty much any time. The camp is always the same location regardless of where you are on the world map, though.
We can only afford to do the one animation.
Yeah, it's very similar to the camps in Baldur's Gate 3 if you played that game. Camps are a separate instance that is safe from attack, where you can spec and buff your characters as well as interact with your companions. While sitting around the campfire, you apologize for rubbing her nose in the deaths of all those people on the beach. It's not like it was her fault. Then she confesses that it kind of was her fault.
Bitch, you are nothing but messy. What the fuck?
They were supposed to land elsewhere, but she convinced the captain to land there instead.
You dumb dipshit.
She thought it would be less obvious and therefore safer. But nobody could have predicted the old man. He was in his 50s or 60s, which doesn't make any sense. He should have gommaged years ago.
Omelette du gommage.
But instead, he killed 90% of your crew without breaking a sweat. We clearly have no fucking clue what we're dealing with out here. You tell her this is why you trust the note that was left behind. The old man doesn't need to trick you. He can kill you without even trying. Which is why you're going to go get Mael. And the two of you are heading back to Lumiere. Lune scolds you, saying that's not an option. You all signed up for this mission. You show back, fuck the mission. The three of you aren't going to be able to take on the paintress, and it's better to just return home. Lune yells back, when one falls, we continue. Not if one falls, when one falls. Falling is expected. If even one of us is still standing, we fight. You taught her that the future of Lumiere is more important than any one life. If you still believe that, then you need to continue, not give up.
He can't really say no to that one.
She asks if you still believe the very lesson you taught.
Fine, I'll believe the lesson I taught.
You stand and think on it for a very long time before responding, I hope I do. Finally settled, the two of you stare off at the monolith bearing the glowing 33, and Lune half laughs, saying, fuck the mission, seriously? To which you apologize for saying with a half laugh of your own. The next day, you continue following the instructions left for you by the note. You pass into a new cave system and find yourself kind of underwater. You're not wet, you're not submerged, there's not even water anywhere. But there is seaweed, giant clams, fish, and other sea life swimming around you as if you were underwater.
Huh.
It's like a giant drained aquarium, but nobody bothered to tell the residents the water is gone. In the center, you see a little hut carved out of the coral, but bearing a big, ornate, retro-futuristic door. You open it, and as a sliver cracks open, a light shines from within, and the two of you are magically pulled inside, as the door slams shut behind you. Inside is an elaborate and majestic mansion, titled The Manor. Locked doors line its many hallways, while delicate chandeliers provide dim lighting. You run through it, crossing bridges and passing through ballrooms, yelling for Mael until you find a single open door. It's a bedroom, and inside you see Mael sitting at a desk, inspecting an audio log.
Oh.
You call out to her and she turns, covered in blood and dirt,
Whoa.
asking, Gustav, are you real? You run up and throw your arms around her to show her how real you are. The two of you rejoice in your reunion, and then she laughs, saying you certainly smell real.
Ew.
You break the embrace and begin to apologize for what happened on the beach. You say you should have been there for her, protected her, but you couldn't. There was no visibility and all happened so fast. She stops you, saying it's okay. The two of you made it. That's all that matters now. Lune asks how she ended up here, and Mael admits she has no idea. She woke up here after the events on the beach with... Just then, a strange, ethereal noise can be heard as a terrifying figure fills the doorframe into the room. Human in shape, but 7 feet tall.
Oh.
Its face scooped out and hollow, with nothing but a black void in its place.
Oh no.
Its skin hairless and rotting away, draped in dark cloth barely providing it decency. Flower petals, the kind we saw at the gommage, float around him, carried by some unseen magic. Mael finishes, saying she woke up here with him. He's actually been really helpful, despite his terrifying appearance.
Don't mind that my roommate's fucked up looking. They're great.
Yeah, he's taught her a lot about how to survive here.
Oh.
He doesn't speak really, but she can understand him somehow, referring to him as the curator. Lune says the magic surrounding him, or chroma as they call magic in this game, is very different from the chroma she sees in the Nevrons. The curator glides away like a friendly Dementor. Mael says that it wants us to follow him, so you do. Mael asks you how you found her, and you tell her about the note. She says she knows nothing about it, nor who could have written it, but is grateful nonetheless. Back in the entrance hall where you first entered the mansion, you see the curator by the front door. Mael sees that it won't move from the front door and explains that it wants to make sure we're all strong enough before we go back out there, challenging us to a duel.
This feels a little handholdy.
It's a little handholdy. What it's really doing is it's just so you can learn these people's new move sets.
Oh, right. As you add a character to the roster, you can catch up with them.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's how it's done. After the battle, the curator is still worried about Mael, and she tells him he can come along if he really cares that much. saying he can hang out in the camp while the rest of you are adventuring. This way, he can check up on her nightly.
Oh.
Which, again, is very Baldur's Gate 3 with a character that looks and acts almost identically to the curator, who also resides at the base camp in that game. Fuck, I'm going to end up doing Baldur's Gate 3, aren't I?
You fucked yourself over.
After the curator agrees to join the camp, the three of you exit the manor, back out into the waterless sea cave. You and Lune argue over the next course of action when Mael says that someone named Noko should be around here somewhere. Just then, a rock wall explodes, and a 3-foot-tall creature comes flying out of it.
Saying, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Not even remotely.
Oh, man.
He appears to be made of wood and metal, like a tiny living puppet with a wild mane of hair sprouting out of the top of his head like a pineapple.
Oh.
Or, more appropriately, like a paintbrush.
Oh.
His face being covered by a flat board of wood. Earlier in Lumiere, we saw a couple kids dressed as these creatures. Lune runs up to it screeching, "Oh my god, is that a real-life Gestrel?" Noko the Gestrel shouts back, "Intruders! Verso would not approve. On guard, ruffians."
On guard!
Mael tells him to shut up. We're all humans and friendly. Mael says that Noko is just being dramatic. He's a merchant, not a warrior. He'll sell you shit. Noko looks at you and says that he likes the paintbrush above your upper lip, referring to your mustache.
They're like, we love a theme, though.
Lune is flabbergasted, saying that if Gestrels are real, maybe the other legends she's heard, like the Eskie, exist too. She asks if Noko is the only Gestrel or if there are more. And Mael says there's a whole ass village of them not too far from here. Lune begs to go there next. But you're not sure. There's not really any time for side quests. You're here for the paintress. Noko asks how you expect to get to the paintress from here. You don't have a boat or fins. Lune is shocked because you didn't know there was another body of water between here and the paintress. You were always told it was just the one. Mael asks Noko if there's anyone in the village that could help, and he says to go speak with the chef in the village. They should be able to help you out. You turn to Lune and congratulate her. She's gonna see the Gestrel village after all.
She's so excited,
Oh,
too.
she is too, yeah.
She's like, I know we're on like a mission, but this is really fucking cool for me.
All about protocol, but she's like, no, I gotta see this Gestrel village though.
She's just a giant nerd.
She is. On the way, you see a single red rose growing out of the ground. It reminds you of Sophie and the rose you gave her on the day of her gommage. You try to pluck it, but are interrupted by a Nevron attacking. You weaken it, but the fight is eventually stopped by Lune. She says that it only attacked once you tried to pick the flower. You tell her that it's a creation of the paintress and therefore needs to die. Mael sees this hurt Nevron and starts to feel bad for it. She approaches it cautiously, reaching her hand out. But the Nevron jumps back scared, and you pull your gun and open fire on it.
What the fuck?
He goes like full, like, he's coming right for us.
Yeah. Self-defense.
Yeah.
Turns into John Marston for no goddamn reason.
Totally. Yeah. This causes the Nevron to retreat and hide.
Yeah, it's being shot at.
Lune yells at you, saying that you can't just kill everything in your way if you're going to survive this place. You tell her you were just protecting Mael. Lune tells you she'll be fine, and you mockingly repeat, "She'll be fine."
That's all you got?
I know, right?
Dude.
He has no response other than that.
That's so embarrassing for him. Gustav, my friend, I'm going to tell you right now, that's so embarrassing. Come on, man.
You decide to set up camp before going to the village, as it's nearly nightfall. That night, Mael has a nightmare. It involves black and white flashes of a bunch of people we haven't met yet, each covered in blood, ending with Mael standing at the base of the paintress's monolith, screaming out in pain.
This probably isn't foreshadowing.
It's kind of not. It's weird.
Oh.
She wakes up and goes to a cliffside that overlooks the paintress in order to collect herself. You join her, noting that the paintress is still many miles away. Mael says that death here isn't like death in Lumiere. Back home when someone dies, they literally vanish in a puff of flower petals.
Wait, that's so romantic.
Here their bodies remain, reminding you of their fate. She thought being an orphan made her accustomed to death. But this place is changing that fact. We were ready for gestrels and nevrons for the most part. But that man on the beach? Nobody could predict that. You tell her that if you see even a strand of white hair, you're running. And you expect her to be right there next to you, running as well. She laughs, saying, "You're an old man. She'd outpace you any day."
This ancient 33-year-old.
You chuckle, saying, "There was a time when 30 was considered young, you know." Mal says, sure.
Wait, what? It's not? Fuck.
Yeah, this game really made me feel old, I'll tell you what. Elsewhere in the camp, Lune is playing a song on her guitar. You join her so she can gush about gestrels being real. Makes you wonder what other fairy tales are actually true. Lune says that this war is ultimately a war for information. Who is the paintress? Where does she come from? Why does she do all of this? It's all information you ultimately don't have, even after nearly 70 years of expeditions. You tell her that you've had a change of heart. There's 3 of you now. Maybe you actually do have a chance at defeating the paintress. You'll never bring back those who are lost, but maybe you can keep their memory alive by fighting for them now. Lune is happy to see you lost your defeatist attitude from before, reminding you of your sister's parting words. Tomorrow comes. Which it does, and the 3 of you head off to the Gestrel village. As you get closer, you notice a lot of dead nevrons.
Ooh.
You find out why, as you set off an alarm near the village. You are all tagged as nevrons, and they send out increasingly more difficult gestrels in mechanical exosuits to fight you.
They got the mechs?
Each more impossible to destroy than the last.
Just because you tripped their security wire?
Yep.
You showed up on a ring cam and they're like, send out the mechs.
Release the hounds. After proving your worth, the gestrels congratulate you on a job well done defeating their defense systems, saying Chef Golgra will be most impressed. She's the village's best fighter. You are officially welcomed into the village to meet the chef. The village is built into the side of rock walls, with caves being their homes and places of business. Gestrels of all shapes and sizes can be met and spoken to, each with a different paintbrush hairstyle. They're also all extremely violent. But they're nice about it.
I need you to elaborate.
Fighting is just part of their culture, with intimidation being seen as a sign of affection.
Okay, 1, this is toxic.
It's
2,
totally toxic.
Mayel has been doing this too.
She has, right?
So this may be a cultural thing. Maybe the French are quick to throw bows. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I always thought they had that like reputation for being the ones that retreat.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, pastries and cigarettes. That's great. They were like, what if they all knew Krav Maga?
Yeah. Also, weirdly, the term chef and chief start getting interchangeably used here. I'm wondering if they simply had a typo in the translation of the script and the actors just decided fuck it and ran with the mistake, honestly.
It's kind of charming if they did.
It might just be another origami killer situation.
Nails on a chalkboard. Why would you say that?
When you meet the leader of the village, be it a chef or a chief, they're most impressed that you managed to defeat their defenses. Brute strength being seen as something worthy of respect and honor. You explain that Noko informed you that she could help you get to the paintress. Golgra laughs, asking if you humans are really still obsessed with the paintress, explaining that a few of you expeditioners come through here every couple of years, saying they're all after the paintress. All of those humans had boats. Where's yours?
So they really fucked this up.
They really fucked it up, yep. You explain that it was destroyed by a man with white hair, asking if she's familiar with him. She says that he's the reason for the defense system.
He's the reason for the rule is so cool.
He came through here once and killed a bunch of gestrels.
Oof.
It was super impressive.
She's like, but I have so much respect for that.
Still do, right? She's not entirely sure how there were any survivors, to be honest. But since you don't have a boat, your next best bet is someone named Eskie. If you ask nicely, Eskie will take you across the water.
Woohoo!
Lune is stoked to find out another legend is real. Golgra says that you'll need a password to get Eskie to trust you. He's very friendly, but he could also accidentally eat you,
Oh,
which is why you'll need the password.
whatever character this is, I love it.
Being Gestrels, the only way to get the password is to fight for it. Saying there's a tournament you'll have to enter, with the grand prize being the password. To win the tournament, you have to 1v1 3 of their best champions, as well as a 4th entrant known only as the Stranger.
And the stranger really wants the password.
Selecting your best fighter, you defeat each of the Gestrel champions, and finally, you face the Stranger. A person who is so strong, they defeated the Gestrel defense system all by themselves, while it took you a team of 3 to do the same.
Oh no.
A human woman enters the fight arena. She has light brown hair pulled back in a tight bun with a dark scar across the bridge of her nose.
Oh, I thought it would be the old man just here to like scare the shit out of everyone again.
On her arm, the number 33 can be seen sewn into her clothes.
Oh.
She greets the crowd of cheering Gestrels, ready for her next challenge, producing playing cards out of thin air and flipping them into the air like confetti falling all around her.
Holy shit, she's Gambit.
Mael looks at her and asks you if that's Sayel, Sophie's drunk BFF. You confirm that it is, with a smile.
Drunk girl, pack of cards. It's obviously her.
Totally right. Sayel notices your group and runs over happy, giving you all a big hug, saying she thought she was the only survivor. A Gestrel calls down that they came here for a fight, and if you don't start fighting, they'll come down and do it for you.
They're mad that you're literally hugging.
Yeah, you're hugging it out, bitches.
You could at least like put someone in a headlock to catch up. It's a performance.
Sayel says they did come for a show, and says that we'll just have an exhibition match, not a fight to the death.
She said pull your punches.
Besides, no matter who wins, we get the prize now. You fight Sayel to satisfy the Gestrels and get the password for Eskie. After the fight, you ask Sayel how she got here. She says that after the beach, she woke up not too far from here. A friendly Gestrel led her to the village otherwise. Then she asks about you. The music makes a drastic change, becoming dark and brooding.
Oh no.
You say that you don't know how either, but you awoke near a waterfall. The camera slowly zooms in on your face as you recall the scene, realizing each of you mysteriously woke up in a new location with no memory. You continue with your story. The music stops suddenly, then Luna interrupts, and she says, Yeah, we can talk later. Let's go get the password from Chief Chef.
She has hall monitor energy.
She goes back and forth on like when she wants to follow protocol and when she wants to fuck around, you know?
It's a little NIMBY, it's a little rules for thee, but not for me. She'd be a nightmare on Reddit, is all I'm saying.
When you present yourself as champions, Golgra tells you the password, which is, get out of my way. Very Gestrelian. But it only works if yelled really fucking loudly.
The password is get out of my way, yelled aggressively.
If you're not loud enough, guards will attack and kill you. Best of luck.
Holy shit.
On the way to Eskie, you make camp once more. You get caught up with Sayel, welcoming her back to the team. She and Lune are super excited about the chance of meeting the legendary Eskie the following morning. Everyone joins in on the conversation, when suddenly, Mael is sucked into a black and white nightmare again.
Oh.
Only she isn't asleep. She's in the same place, surrounded by her friends, only they're not moving. Time is standing still. Startled, Mael rises to walk around this dream, but she stops suddenly, seeing a new person nearby. Roughly the same height, but sporting long gray hair and wearing a broken kabuki-style mask, cracked in a way that reveals the top half of the person's feminine, elderly face. Mael asks who she is while approaching her, each holding out a hand to touch the other. But before they can, they're stopped by the old man from the beach.
That motherfucker.
He says, Alicia, I told you to stay home. It's not good for you to see this. Alicia angrily gestures toward Mael wordlessly. The man says he knows it's Mael's fault and she doesn't even know it. But Alicia still can't be here. Mael asks what they're talking about. What's her fault? He turns to Mael, saying this is her only warning. Take her friends and go home. Let them enjoy their final year of life.
Whoa.
Mael draws her sword, and as she strikes, the nightmare ends, and she's standing over the campfire, sword in the air.
Whoa.
The others spring to life and notice Mael standing as if in battle, wondering what just happened to her. Mael drops and begins having a panic attack, explaining what just happened and what she saw. Lune presses Mael for every detail while they're still fresh in her memory. But you tell her to knock it off. Mael needs to rest.
Yeah.
The next day, you make it to the entrance of Eskie's nesting grounds. A gestural stands guard and demands the password. Sael says, you're the loudest, and reminds you that it needs to be yelled as loudly as possible.
Also reading him to be like, you're a loud motherfucker. You better do this one.
So you huff and puff and scream out, get out of my way! The gestural goes, damn, no need to be so rude.
Wait, was this a prank?
No, you tell him that you were told that was the password, and the gestural says that he was never actually told what the password was anyway.
Stop! This motherfucker pranked the shit out of you.
Really did.
I love it.
He's like, yeah, you can go, it's fine.
They love aggression, though, so this actually is probably good for him.
You know, the password worked at the end of the day.
It did, yeah. You can't knock results.
You apologize profusely. You didn't mean to be rude. And Mael reminds you that gestrals have the memory of a goldfish. He'll forget this whole thing in a few minutes.
Okay, good.
You enter Eskie's lair, a deep, dank cavern with a giant pool of water at the bottom.
Dank.
Looking around, you don't see any sign of him, wondering where he is. Suddenly, you hear someone go, woo, woo, echoing across the walls of the cave.
What was that?
From above, you see a massive being come flying into the cave.
Oh.
It's enormous and seems to be made of fabric, like a living hot air balloon,
Oh.
with long arms and short stubby legs, and as Andrea loves to point out, a funny-looking butt.
This is my friend.
Considering its massive size, the butt is quite small in comparison.
Thank you for painting a picture of the butt, just so everyone's on the same page as this guy having a real funny butt.
Eskie also has a short neck sticking out near the top of its body, with the face being a big round mask with slits for eyes and a smile permanently etched on his face.
Aww.
Surrounding the mask are metallic golden rays as if he were the sun itself. Eskie splashes down in the pool of water saying, Bonjour, mes amis.
Bonjour.
Sael waves back politely, repeating the greeting. Lune is like, what the fuck are you doing? Sael says, what? He seems nice. You tell Eskie that you need a way to get to the paintress, and you have to cross water to get there. Eskie agrees to help, if you help him in return. For although he is very strong, he is not strong enough to carry 4 across the sea without his friend Flory. Flory is a rock, and he helps Eskie stay afloat in water.
Oh, okay, I get you.
But he was stolen by his rival arch-nemesis.
His friend was stolen?
His awful, evil, vile, horrible, next-door neighbor, Francois.
I liked Eskie for his body, and now I love him for his personality. It was like falling in love with you.
Right. Oh, thank you. Since Francois lives in the cave next door, you agree to help out.
They're just neighbors. This is so silly.
And honestly, they say neighbors. They're in the same cave. It's just like a different section of the cave,
Oh,
basically.
they're neighbors in the dorm?
They're
like
roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates?
I think officially they're ex-roommates, and now they're considered neighbors.
Are they Bert and Ernie that broke up?
Yeah, basically.
I love it.
You get to Francois' place, and he is basically a rock version of Eskie.
Oh, big ass rock?
When you say basically that very thing to him, he gets mad, saying he's not a rock, he's a turtle, dumbass.
Hey, Hey, dipshit, I have claws!
Then he yells out the door to Eskia to stop sending humans over here to steal Flory.
Oh.
It was never Eskia's to begin with.
Oh, drama.
He says, you can have Flory if you fight him for it. And once you defeat him, he reluctantly hands over the pet rock. Eskia laughs at Francois, saying his friends kicked his ass. Francois shouts that he'll never stop chasing Eskia.
Turtles do live forever, so he's kind of fucked there.
Well, Mael mocks him, saying that he's a turtle who can't even move.
Oh.
Which does kind of make him a rock.
She's hitting him with the actually.
He tells you to scram, and you leave with Flory. You note that Francois and Eskia are completely different from Gestrels or Nevrons, wondering if they're also creations of the Paintress, or something else entirely. You return to Eskia and hand over Flory. He is beyond excited to see his old friend again. Then says, wait a minute. This isn't Flory, and drops the useless rock in the water. Francois hollers from next door that he never even had Flory. He's still on the cliffs where Eskia left him. Eskia laughs, saying Francois got him good.
I appreciate that neither of them fully understands what their relationship is to each other. They don't realize they're best friends and are in love with each other.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship entirely.
It's great.
Yeah, I love these guys so much. You ask Eskia if that means you need to go to the cliffs, and he says that without the rock, he'll never stay afloat. Lune points out that you all just saw him fly through the air. Eskia says that he loves to fly. He used to fly through space with his best friend Verso all the time. But he can't fly like that anymore.
Oh.
Not without Flory. He can only keep himself in the air without Flory. You agree to help find Flory, and Eskia flies off, saying he'll meet you outside to point you in the right direction. He flaps his long arms high above while you head off towards the cliffs. On the way, you see a toppled over Ferris wheel. Sayel points at it, saying she heard people used to go on dates inside the pods.
It's like the most wholesome date you can go on.
Wondering what kind of dirty hijinks people got up to in there.
Mostly hand stuff.
You actually her saying that it's a device created by Expedition 50. They built a giant wheel thinking they could drive over everything to get to the Paintress.
Wait, that's hysterical.
It clearly failed.
Bunch of weird 50-year-olds just like, what if we made a big circle and threw it at her like a frisbee?
Oh, but the eye roll that Sayel gives during your explanation is fantastic. You look up and see Eskia flying overhead and ask him why he can't just fly over to Flory and grab it. Eskia responds that it would be far too much effort.
But you can do it.
Just then, a Titan-sized Nevron stands up, filling the screen.
Whoa.
Hundreds of feet tall, towering over everyone. Eskia magically octuples in size and flies straight through the monstrous Nevron's chest at nearly light speed, killing it instantly.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
You see this and go, is Eskia seriously that powerful? Sayel responds, powerful, but lazy. What a weird creature.
Oh no, he's a gifted child.
Yeah. Honestly, in an optional conversation you could have later in the game, it's confirmed that Eskia is the most powerful being in existence. He just chooses not to use his power most of the time, as he's a peaceful creature.
Oh, that's so sweet.
With the Titan taken care of, you continue forward, looking for the lost rock Flory. You travel through the cave until you come upon a frighteningly familiar creature, standing tall over your group in the darkness, with a face made out of hands. It's the creature that hunted you in the mist on the beach. If not the same one, then at least the same species. You battle it in the tight corridors of the cave, ultimately blasting it through a rock wall, where you watch it plummet to the stormy seas below. Mael watches it sink beneath the waves and says that it was easier than she expected. You scold her, saying not to jinx us like that.
Yeah, you can't admit that out loud. That's an inside thought.
There is no need to invite misfortune. Lune says she doesn't see any stones that look like they might be Flory anywhere. Then the cave begins to quake. The creature from before rises up out of the water, stronger and angrier than before.
Oh, come on, man.
Mael asks what's happening, and you respond, misfortune, as you launch into a second round of the fight.
He specifically said, don't do this shit. Now they are getting immediate repercussions.
This time, it's much more difficult.
Unforeseen consequences.
And at the end, Mael is winded and wounded, asking if it's really dead this time.
Don't say shit, bitch. Just stop.
You say that it appears so, as Lune finds a glowing rock. Esquier flies in, saying, "Woo-hoo-hoo, Flory, time to sail like a snail."
Oh.
Esquier dives down to the water below, where he floats like a giant pool toy and says to jump on down.
Oh.
It's not that high. Honestly, it's like 80 feet.
Whoa, no.
So yeah, it is that high, but whatever, Esquier.
You could break a leg at that speed. Yeah. The fuck?
Lune and Sael jump down, with Sael showing lots of fear of the water, but trusting Esquier to carry her. Mael and yourself stay behind a moment longer, staring out at the glowing 33. Closer now than ever before. Just a short swim between here and there. So close you could almost throw a rock and hit her. Mael asks if you want to try. You're still miles from the paintress, plus the others are waiting, but you decide to humor her and look for a good throwing rock. Even with your mechanical arm, there's still zero chance of reaching her, but whatever. You'll do anything to make Mael happy. As you search for the rock, the scene flashes to deep within the cave, where the sound of a cane hitting the ground echoes as the old man approaches.
Oh, no. Neither
Neither you nor Mael notice the sound, and Mael jokingly asks if you need help finding the rock. You explain that it's not about the rock, it's more about the... But you don't get to tell her what it's about, as a very large bullet blasts through your chest, and Mael's face becomes drenched in your blood.
Holy shit.
It happens so suddenly, her expression barely has time to change.
You can't get comfortable in this game.
At all.
At every point, something horrific is around the corner.
You look at her, clutching your chest, and tell her to run, as a magical barrier rises up between the two of you, involuntarily created by your desire to keep her safe.
Oh.
The old man approaches and you turn to him, holding in your guts, and you ask why he's doing this. The man says nothing, so you engage him in battle. You fight with everything you have, while he just stands there, taking it, with you barely leaving a scratch. Down below, Lune and Sael see a light show coming from the cave, realizing something's going on up there.
And it's probably a fun party.
They ask Esquier to fly up, and he says he can't. They ask why, and he points out the hand creature has once again risen from the depths of the sea, and it attacks them. Back in the battle with the old man, you unleash your mechanical arm's most powerful attacks, calling down lightning from above to strike this old fucker down. It knocks him back, but proves to be too much power for the arm, as it unlatches from your shoulder and falls to the ground.
Whoa.
You turn back and look at Mael, saying, "For those who come after." Brandishing your weapon, you charge the old man. He casually steps out of the way, replacing his body with the blade of his sword, driving it right through you.
Oh.
He twists it,
Ah!
ensuring your death, and drops your lifeless corpse to the ground. Mael screams out, "Gustav!" The magic barrier vanishes, a sign that this death was final. She runs to the body crying, begging it not to be true. The old man approaches, saying that she won't yet understand, but this is kindness, not cruelty. He places his hand on her chest, not in a creepy way, and blasts her backwards off the cliff, toward Esquier and the remaining members of Expedition 33. While falling off the cliff, Mael is transported to the black and white world. She hears two unknown adults arguing, a man and a woman. The woman asks how he could have let her come here. The man saying, "My sweet child, you were supposed to stay home. But since she's here, she needs to stay where she is." The woman tells him no, she needs to go home now. The man finishing the argument, saying that when this is over, they'll go home together.
Oh.
A powerful blast pushes Mael back into reality. It's so strong, it stops her from going over the edge of the cliff.
Oh.
And she's instead kneeling on the ground, out of breath. The old man says he's doing what's best for our families. He is sorry you're caught in the middle, but he did try to warn you. Suddenly he turns, holding up his sword, blocking a blow from an unseen enemy. A few strikes later, and the old man is circling this new foe, saying it's been a while. A new man stands opposite him, mid-40s in age, with salt and pepper hair and a scruffy beard, a long scar over his left eye, wearing an expedition uniform, and holding a sword out at the old man. The old man stops threatening and tells the younger one to stay out of this. He chose to walk away. He doesn't get to show back up just because he feels like it. The stranger tells the old man that he's lived more than a lifetime, and it's time to let her go. The old man says that it was a lifetime with his family torn apart. He wants his family back. The stranger tells the old man that it's not his family, but she is. He points up as he says this, and the camera pans high up the mountainside to another cliff, where the white-haired old woman with the half-mask is standing.
Oh.
The old man asks why he brought her, and the stranger says she chose to come. Turning to Mael, the stranger offers his hand, saying for her to get back to her friends. He'll handle things here. Mael accepts his hand and stands up. Then, without a word, turns and leaps off the cliff to her waiting team members.
She is so dramatic for that. Can you imagine being like, all right, you know what? This fight isn't for you. Go find your friends. And she's like, bet, and just steps off a cliff.
Right after her father died, though.
Right, but still, so dramatic.
The old man asks if he's ready for the consequences of his actions. The stranger responds, she'll never paint again. The scene ends as the old man departs, and the stranger stands over the dead body of Gustav, looking out at the glowing 33. The ladies take the first opportunity they can to make camp so they can mourn the loss of Gustav. Mael taking it the hardest, as he was like an older brother to her, or a father. She's honestly not sure. Esquier wordlessly approaches her, opening his arms extremely wide, welcoming her to hug his big, fluffy body.
Oh, I bet he gives the best hugs.
She moves in closer and just starts punching Esquier's fabric stomach in frustration. But he just wraps his arms around her as she succumbs to his kindness and weeps in his tender embrace.
Oh.
Over at the campfire, Sael and Lune sit with each other. Sael asks if she remembers the last time the two of them sat like this. Lune says, yeah, when we both lost our parents. Seems like every time we're together, it's to grieve. It's actually kind of a shame the two have never spent any time other than grieving and training together. Lune's training kicks in and she says that the plan doesn't change. We head north toward the Paintress and her monolith. We should also update our journals for Expedition 32. They'll need to know how far we make it and what obstacles are coming. Sael calms Lune, saying it's okay. We're still in this and still have a chance. Tomorrow will come. This does calm Lune, and the two of them rest by the fire. Just as they start to drift off, the stranger approaches the camp. This startles the two women, and they ask what he's doing here. He holds out Gustav's mechanical arm, saying that it seemed important, and tosses it to the women. They ask who he is and why the fuck he's wearing an expedition uniform. He says that's a strange way to thank someone for saving your life. He's also sorry he couldn't save your friend. As for the uniform, it's because he was an expeditioner. Lune notes that she's not much younger than he is. She would recognize him if he was one. He tells them that he was part of Expedition 0.
Oh.
Lune retorts, that's not possible. That was 67 years ago.
Okay, so he uses sunscreen. Let me explain.
How that works.
Sunscreen stops the clock.
How is he not dead, or at the very least, old?
You should be decrepit, sir.
He says he doesn't really understand it. Some people aren't aging, as if time stopped for them. They're not even affected by the gamage, such as the old man, whose name is Renoir, by the way. He was Expedition Zero's commander.
Oh, they have history.
The women ask why he would kill his own kind if he's also an expeditioner. The man explains that Renoir enjoys his immortality. If you kill the paintress, he's worried he'll lose that immortality. Lune asks the man why he's not equally as obsessed with staying alive. To which he replies, watching everyone you grow to love and care about die can wear a person down quite a bit.
Oof.
He's fine with it ending, offering to join the party.
He said, I'm done.
Maëlle is like, so just to clarify, if I want revenge for Gustave, we have to kill the paintress first. Then I can kill this Renoir bastard, right? Cool. What's your name?
That's when she is like, all right, icebreaker is over. You're good.
And the stranger simply states, Verso. Taking us into Act 2. Verso. You now take over Verso, who more or less straight up replaces Gustave from this point forward. While they have different movesets, Verso does obtain all of Gustave's weapons and equipment.
Oh, okay.
You get settled into camp and even catch up with your best friend, Esquier, who says you've gotten fat since he last saw you.
And it's nice to see you too, buddy.
You ask Esquier if he told the party about you-know-what, and Esquier swears, "Ma mom's the word, mon ami." He didn't say a word.
He's so charming.
You tell him it feels like it's been years since you last saw each other. Esquier says it's been 3 years, 67 days, and roughly 10 hours.
That's my favorite Prince song.
To which you respond, 10 hours and 7 minutes. And he's like, oh, you were counting too. You wonder how these guys managed to convince Esquier to leave his cave. He says that they're all just so nice. Well, the super nice one died, but the others are cool too.
I love Esquier so much.
He encourages you to make friends with them, even though he knows your stance on befriending expeditioners. But he reminds you that having a rock and losing it is better than never having a rock at all.
He would understand.
This conversation with Esquier also unlocks relationship levels in the game. You can chit-chat with each party member and get to know them a little bit better. With Gustave, conversations tended to be a bit cryptic, as there were already established relationships between he and the others. But now with Verso, he doesn't know anything about these people, so the conversations are a lot more detailed now as you get to know their backstories. The next day, Esquier delivers you to the shores that will lead you to the Paintress's monolith. There are ships wrecked here, remains of past expeditions that managed to make it this far. As you walk over the dead bodies of those who didn't survive, Maëlle holds Gustave's arm against her chest. She stops and asks permission to bury Gustave's arm, a small sign of grace these dead people never received. Lune explains that protocol states we move forward, and that Gustave would understand.
This heartless bitch.
Every step of the way, right?
She just has such big snitch energy.
Sayel argues that it wouldn't take any time to dig a small hole and that we'll find a suitable spot along the way. You chime in that you actually know of a place nearby outside the gaze of the Paintress that is really quiet, pretty, and peaceful.
I know a spot, ladies.
And you ask Maëlle if that would be a good area to bury him, to which she agrees it sounds like a nice spot. But the journey sucks. It's full of Nevrons attacking, many of whom had won previous battles, as evidenced by the increasing number of dead expeditioners littering the road.
You know, you gotta at least appreciate how far your team is making it.
Right?
Seeing the roads literally just riddled with the corpses of your former neighbors and shit.
Expeditioners and shit. Yeah, it's wild. Maëlle loses it at one point, asking how any of them can take all this death. Verso, who claims to have buried so many loved ones. Sayel and Lune, both of whom lost Gustave and others as well today. Why are none of them as pained by all this death as she is? Sayel assures her she's not alone in her misery, they're just burying it.
Oh,
Besides, as the motto goes, when one falls, well, you know the rest.
tomorrow will come.
No, that's a different one.
No, it's the same.
Lune points to the dead bodies everywhere and says that she sees this as why they're fighting, so that this never happens again. Mael, not quite comforted, but accepting, agrees to continue. You find the place for the burial, and it turns out to be a memorial for many fallen expeditioners. They're numbered armbands tied to little wooden poles buried in the ground. Each party member says their final goodbyes to Gustav in their own way. That night at camp, you lay out the next leg of the journey to the others. It'll be about 2 more days, and then you'll arrive in Monaco Station. There you'll recruit one of your oldest friends and one of the world's most mighty warriors, which you'll need as the next stop after that is to take down the heart of the paintress. Sael's confused. Why the heart? You explain that the chroma surrounding the paintress is so strong, it vaporizes people instantly.
Whoa!
You need to kill her heart first. Then the protective enchantment will be broken. Lune asks where the heart is located, as it sounds like it won't be inside the paintress. You say that it's located in Old Lumiere. This shocks the group. Again, they thought something was a myth. That Lumiere used to be part of a larger city on a larger continent. They never imagined it could be true. You tell them that you've helped out many expeditions over the years. He was with number 58 when they found Old Lumiere. Then Renoir showed up and erased them in an instant.
This motherfucker.
Which is why you'll need your friend at Monaco Station. Sael asks if there's snow in Monaco Station, since you mention it's high up a mountain. You say that there is. Why? Then remember that Lumiere doesn't have snow. She's only ever seen it in books and paintings. Sael explains that her late husband loved the idea of snow and always talked about seeing it someday.
Yeah, it's really easier to romanticize when you don't have to drive through it.
Or live in it.
Yeah.
Shovel a driveway.
Salt a driveway. Yeah, you've just seen a couple postcards and you're like, oh, I could live like that.
Well, it's really that she just wishes he was still around to see it with her.
No, this morning is stupid. Her husband was dumb.
He was wrong.
He was wrong.
Lune is curious how you continued to live all these years while allegedly helping other expeditions who have all failed. You assure her that the tales of your adventures are as complicated as they are harrowing. Now, run along.
I'm very heroic, though, so you should love me for it.
Lune retreats from your conversation and goes to talk with Sael, who's gazing up at the stars. The two of them reminisce about the day they met, when their parents died. Sael's had just gommaged, and Lune's were on that year's expedition. Lune was embarrassed that day. She thought that her parents had defeated the paintress and were going to come home. But when she saw that bitch stand up to change the numbers, she ran off to hide.
Oh.
Which is where she found Sael, who was also hiding. She just needed to get far away from all the damned flower petals of the death that covered the harbor. They shared a friendship for one night, and one night only. Because after that, Lune shut out everyone and began training for this expedition, determined to succeed where her parents failed. Sael says that being out here on this journey with only a year left to live, it's as good a time as any to make a friend. Lune smiles, saying she'd like that, as the two of them lie together under the stars. Mael joins by your side, thanking you for suggesting the burial spot. Gustav would have loved it. The two of you chat for a bit, prompting you to ask her why she signed up for the expedition. The others only had a year left to live anyway with their gommage coming up. But Mael is half their age. Mael says that it seemed like life out here seemed more interesting than life back home. At least at the time, anyway.
She's like, I might as well.
Then she pulls out an armband, saying that she kept Gustav's for herself. But that leaves her with one extra, and offers you hers. Saying that if you're going to be on this expedition, you'll need to look official. She ties it to your arm, welcoming you to the disaster expedition. After a few days of climbing, you make it up the mountain to Monaco Station. which is a former train depot that is now destroyed and part of the mountain. Sayel asks if it's true trains used to run all over Lumiere. You tell her that they were always late, but yes, they did run throughout the city before the fracture.
The tea on that. They love their public transport. It doesn't work. It's not on time, but it's great.
Late all the fucking time. Looking around, you don't see your friend anywhere. Suddenly, a white-haired, ape-like gestural bursts from the ice, wearing a backpack of firewood, wielding a wooden staff.
A backpack of firewood. Baby, you are flammable. This is not going to go well for you.
He raises it high over his head and slams it down on top of you, which you deflect with ease. You stare the gestural in his masked face and say, "Slow as ever, mon vieux." Esquier flies into the scene exclaiming, "Momo, it's you!" The gestural stands and addresses Esquier, asking if Verso dragged him into another adventure. Lune is surprised. She was under the impression gesturals couldn't speak English. You explain that the two of you have had plenty of time together, so you felt it prudent to teach him. The gestural twirls its staff, asking if the ladies would like to have an introductory duel.
Because again, aggression is their handshake.
Mael is like, he's definitely a gestural, isn't he? You tell them that Minoko will not calm down until he's gotten some of his energy out in a fight, so might as well humor him. And this lets you get to know your new companion's moves, which are a bit strange, as he removes the leg of a Nevron after its death.
Oh.
Then he can use the leg to turn into that Nevron and use its attacks in battle.
There has to be other practical uses for this ability that extend out of the battlefield.
I would hope so, but that's the only way you use it here.
Number 1, tax fraud.
Right.
Number 2,
fix a car.
Ooh.
After the fight, Minoko asks what you need him for anyway. You tell him you're going to Old Lumiere. Minoko goes, "Okay, bye," and turns to walk away.
I am out.
You go to stop him and lower your voice, telling him that you know we failed last time, but this is different. You point to Mael and ask if she looks familiar to him. Minoko says, of course she does, but what does that have to do with anything? You tell him that it means this might be our only shot at winning. Minoko corrects you, saying it might be your only shot, but count him out. You tell him, there will be fighting. He says, oh yeah, there will be. You say, a lot of fighting. He says, well, count me in then.
I love how easy he is to just convince of things. Also, everyone is so fucking mysterious in this game.
Right?
I'm trying to write it out. I don't want to jump ahead and say, oh, it's obviously XYZ. I'm keeping a lot of my theories to myself. But god damn it, we keep adding layers of, well, you know, the big scary thing that we're not going to explain until Act 3? Yeah, that was crazy, huh? Anyway, like, what do you mean?
Like layers of paint. Suddenly, Noko the merchant shows up. Turns out, he's Minoko's son.
Noko is a family name.
Noko overheard that you're all heading out to Old Lumiere, and he wants to set up shop there, having heard that most of them closed up after the fracture. With that, the 6 of you depart for Old Lumiere, which isn't far, fortunately. When you arrive, you explore the broken city, with chunks of it floating off into space. You use your magic grappling power to zip around much like you did in your home version of Lumiere, all in an attempt to reach the center of the city, where the heart of the paintress is kept. At one point, a building stands in the way, and you ask Minoko to turn into a large Nevron to clear a path.
Oh!
He obliges and gets a bit carried away, destroying the building so thoroughly, he splits the group.
He loves physical chaos, in all fairness.
Lune, Sayel, and he on one side, leaving Mael, Noko, and you on the other. On the way to regroup, Sayel sees a glowing rock underneath the corpse of a long-dead giant, saying it looks like one of Esquier's rocks. She pockets it, saying she'll give it to him later as a present. Lune and Sayel take this moment to sidebar, wondering if they can trust you. Lune says that she trusts that you want to find the paintress, which is also their mission. So she trusts you so long as your desires align on that front.
And that's valid.
They decide to approach Minoko and asks how long he's known you. Minoko says he's known you so long, he doesn't remember how you met.
Oh, that's sweet.
They ask about the other expeditions the two of you have been on and why they failed. Minoko thinks on it, but can't really come up with an answer. Lune says they'll just have to ask you again when you meet up. Then, they stumble upon the remains of Expedition 58, the one that you were with when they discovered Old Lumiere.
Ooh.
Lune checks their log, and then panics. She runs up to Minoko and yells, "Is what they're saying about Verso in this log true?
Oh, no.
He's alone with Mael. We have to save her."
Oh, no. She's 16.
Back in control of Verso, you, Mael, and little Noko collect yourselves after the building split the group. You tell Mael that Minoko has a tendency to get carried away when he's excited, but the others are likely heading toward the center of the city and will all group up there. Mael says at least Minoko fits in perfectly with the disaster expedition, doesn't he? You laughingly agree as you set off toward the city center. Looking around Old Lumiere, Mael says it weirdly feels like home, which makes sense since it's the same city, just split in two. You get into a battle, and when it's over, Mael asks, "We make a pretty good team, don't we?" But she says this to nobody, as she realizes she's all alone with Noko.
Oh, God damn it.
You are nowhere to be seen. Filled with the courage of "we continue," Mael moves forward through the city, eventually coming to an ornate, retro-futuristic doorway. Walking through it, she's transported back to the manor. But this time, she's inside one of the previously locked rooms. Searching it, she finds some useful items, as well as some audio logs. Exiting the room, she finds herself in the main corridors of the manor. Exiting the front door returns her back to Old Lumiere. These doors can be found throughout the game, really, each one a different room in the manor, and providing some kind of upgrade and often information.
That's cool.
Back in Old Lumiere, Mael finds a large old building in the center of town, which I'm pretty sure is the Louvre. She approaches the door, and it opens before she can touch it. On the other side is a womanly figure, similar to the curator, in that she's missing her face and her skin is rotted away.
See, it's also such horrific imagery for things that are totally fine.
Yeah, right? The imagery is insane in this game.
And it doesn't match the energy of all the characters.
Not every time, no, right? It's different.
But I think it adds this level where I'm never going to be comfortable within this story because at some point someone's going to get fucking ripped open.
You're supposed to be on edge for the entirety of the game.
Well, they're fucking nailing it.
It is edging the game.
Tom! You fucking gooner.
Oh no, that was Leisure Suit Larry. Anyway,
what is wrong with you?
she is different from the curator in that she has long white hair flowing straight up toward the sky.
Oh, that means lightning's about to strike.
You come running up behind Mael saying, "I knew you'd open the door for her." But you are struck backwards as you run into an invisible barrier. Renoir appears, asking if that was really your plan. Alicia, the girl with the half mask, also arrives. And she stands next to the floating corpse woman, putting her hand on her shoulder almost lovingly. Renoir steps out of the house as the door closes behind him, leaving the two strange women inside. He tells you that you don't get to keep doing this to his family. You interrupt back that he does not get to lecture you about family. Renoir says, "Of course. Calling him the villain makes it so much easier for you to hate him, doesn't it?" Mael tells you to step back. She's gonna fucking kill him.
Huh?
Renoir looks at her sadly, then back at you. Renoir asks, "You still haven't told her the truth, have you, son?" A lightning bolt strikes between you and Renoir as Sael and Lune join your side.
I fucking knew the lightning was coming.
Sael apologizes for being late, and Lune finishes saying that we were just doing a little bit of light reading. Then she rushes at you asking, when the fuck were you planning on telling them this man is your father?
Baby, we just found out.
You put your head down and explain that family is your least favorite topic.
He said I went no contact, okay?
Renoir slams his cane down, and you tell the others that if you all survive this, you'll explain everything.
If you survive.
The battle is epic, and when it ends in an explosion caused by Renoir in a last-ditch effort, the dust settles, and you look around to see all your companions still standing.
Okay.
You double check to make sure everyone is okay, but the strongest among you is crying uncontrollably. Minoko turns and reveals the lifeless body of his son, Noko, in his arms.
Oh, fuck.
Mael fucking loses it and charges at Renoir, unleashing her rage, slashing at him with her sword. Each blow being deflected by an unseen barrier surrounding Renoir. Pulling back his own saber to deliver a blow, he asks, "Why can't you accept who you are?" You yell out, "Alicia, move!" as you push Mael out of the way and block your father's attack with your own weapon. At the moment of impact, time freezes, and the world becomes black and white. Mael stands up, alone in this nightmare. The doors to the building open, and Alicia stands there. Mael asks who she is, and she removes the mask, revealing that she's not an old woman. Her skin isn't wrinkled. It's burned. Reaching out, she grabs Mael's hand, and the world around her becomes ablaze.
Whoa.
The building is now on fire, and Alicia leads Mael inside. The moment she steps foot through the door, the nightmare ends. In the real world, Renoir, Alicia, even the building itself have all vanished.
Whoa! Whoa!
You scream out, "Fuck!" in anger. Defeated for the day, you set up camp to regroup.
Zootalours! God, you could give me a million guesses. I'd never land on whatever is happening. This is incredible.
Oh, believe me, this story goes in directions I never saw fucking coming. Lune asks you why you never told them Renoir was your father, and you say that you haven't considered him as such in decades. It also wasn't their business, quite frankly.
I don't owe you my paternal heritage.
Minoko joins the group, carrying a small pod with Noko's paintbrush hair sticking out the top.
Oh.
A traditional gestural coffin. Lune asks if it's true that gestrals go through a form of reincarnation when they die. Minoko explains that yes, in a way, Noko will return. But it won't be the Noko you remember. When a gestral is reborn, they get new memories, new experiences, new everything. They completely start over. The Noko you knew is gone. After a moment of silence, you become angry. The heart was inside that building, and now it's gone. There's no other way to get to the paintress now. Lune says that Expedition 58 seems to think you know another way, admitting that she found their journals and that's how she found out about your lineage. You tell her that it was a theory and it didn't pan out, so it's best to drop it. Everyone else is like, whoa, wait, if there's a chance there's another way, we have to at least try.
Let's at least brainstorm the theory.
Mael asks what the other way is, and Lune says, we're going to need to ask for help. You roll your eyes and stand, leading Lune to the person you need to ask. The curator.
Oh.
Lune asks him if it's true. Can he make a weapon that will break the paintress's defensive barrier? He says he needs the heart of 2 axons.
What is an axon?
Mael asks, what's an axon? You tell her that they're massive creatures surrounding the paintress's island. They're stronger and more dangerous than any Nevron. Hence, why it was only a theory. They're impossible to kill. Lune says that she saw the corpse of one of these axons in Old Lumiere, so it is possible to kill one. Someone did at some point.
They could have had a hemorrhage.
You reluctantly agree, saying that if we're going to fight an axon, we need to do it smartly. There are 3 in total, but we only need 2. One is high up in the mountains and a pain in the ass to reach, so that one's out. One is to the west and has been attacked a few times by other expeditions, so it should be weak. Then there's the eastern one, which is at full strength. Sayal's like, let's go do that one first. And Minoko agrees. You're like, did you listen to a word I just said? In the end, you, the gamer, will get to choose which you go after first. Later that night in camp, Lune approaches, wanting to know more about how you ended up stuck here. wondering why you never returned to Lumiere. You tell her that you did, actually. You and Renoir helped with the rebuilding of Lumiere. The early expeditions didn't know about the Paintress yet. They thought the Gommage just transported people away, and they went out looking for them. You were one of the people who brought back early information on what's out there, but it made people not trust you, made them think you were hiding information. Then on your next expedition, you got betrayed halfway to the monolith and had to abandon them. Kind of killed any desire to return to Lumiere after that. After catching up with Lune, you go to Maëlle. She asks about Alicia, wondering why she wears a mask and won't speak. You explain that she got caught in a fire, burned her face and throat. She asks why Renoir and Alicia keep visiting her, and you admit you have no idea. It surprised you when she told you. In the past, Alicia has helped you, so you assume she'd help you now. But she's not. Family's complicated like that, you know? Finally, you get some time with your best pal, Epsiode.
Yay!
He's doing some casual stargazing, calling stars the apples of the sky.
Oh.
Then he points out a constellation that looks like Francois. You're like, I guess it does look kind of round like Francois. Epsiode agrees, saying it's soft and fluffy, just like Francois is. On the inside.
What a sweet burn.
You ask if we're both talking about Mr. Grumpface Francois. Epsiode explains that Francois used to be all wee, but now he's all woo. You ask for him to elaborate, and Epsiode says to imagine that centuries go by without your best friends. That's gonna make you go ooh.
Ooh.
Realizing Epsiode and Francois are the same age, you ask why he's not as grumpy as Francois. Epsiode follows up with, I am grumpy. He says that he is woo, but he is also wee. So the two balance each other out. You tell him that must make him wee woo then. Epsiode looks at you and simply says, you really get me, Verso.
Oh,
And I think we're all a little wee woo sometimes.
I think we are too.
Again, the order you kill the Axons is arbitrary. And while the fights themselves are epic, difficult, and memorable, there's not a lot of story progression there. One is a series of gigantic masks, kind of like the happy and sad ones you see in the theater, only obsidian in color.
Oh yeah, drama and comedy.
The other is a Titanic-sized woman figure who is a seamstress, and her entire zone is made of fabric and other sewing things.
That's beautiful.
After the first one is defeated, you bring the heart to the curator at camp. Lune attempts to hand it to him, but he refuses it, pointing to Maëlle. So Maëlle hands the heart to him, and when he accepts it, she gets a flash of Renoir in her mind.
Oh.
She freaks out, saying she saw him. You pat her on the shoulder, assuring her that it's quite normal for it to happen once he enters your life.
Oh no.
Maëlle goes to rest on Epsiode's belly to calm down.
Wait, stop. That's fucking amazing.
I know, right?
If I had a friend I could rest on. I mean, I do, but, you know, just a really big one.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
He is the pillow.
Yeah.
Well, you approach, asking if it's okay for you to play your instrument. She says it's fine, and you magic a grand piano into existence.
Steinway on demand.
You sit down to play, and Maëlle joins you at the bench, humming along while Epsiode dances like a ballerina in the background.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful.
When you finish, she says it felt so familiar to her, wondering where it came from. You say it's an old tune you used to play for your sister. She asks you to play another, and you agree, closing out the night in song for your audience of two. After the second Axon's defeat, Maëlle delivers the heart to the curator. This time, instead of a flash, the world freezes and color drains. Maëlle looks around to see the female version of the curator here. Maëlle asks who she is, and she rushes at Maëlle,
Whoa.
which causes the world to return to normal. She's freaking out, and everyone gathers around her wondering what just happened.
She just experienced PT. Are you fucking kidding me?
She tries explaining, but really just wonders why this keeps happening to her. Then she turns to the curator and asks, "Who are you?" Without a word, he turns around, reaching into thin air, and pulls out a massive glowing sword.
Oh.
He hands it to Mael, who accepts it, still mildly confused.
You're not going to turn down a sword. That would be rude.
At the fire, you all celebrate your victory, knowing that the paintress is now accessible. Sael says that with all this celebrating, she knows a secret about someone in the group, and she's gonna spill it here and now.
Ooh.
Everyone looks up, scared and a little excited of what she's about to reveal, so long as it's not about them.
It's so just, oh, God, I hope you tear someone else up.
Sael stares directly at you. She says, "You thought I wouldn't find out, did you?"
Oh, yes.
Then to the group she asks, "Did none of you ever think to ask what Esquier is made out of?"
What?
Esquier apologizes to you, saying he accidentally let it slip when she gave him that cool rock she found in old Lumiere. Sael holds up 2 glasses underneath Esquier as he begins to vomit up wine into them.
A million guesses in the world. Holy shit.
Sael hands Luna one of the cups, and you explain that you hid your entire personal stash of wine inside Esquier for safekeeping.
Esquier is your wine cellar?
He is.
I guess he's well insulated. They'd be safe rattling around in there. I'm sorry, and he's throwing up the wine into the glasses now?
He's vomiting it up. It's coming out of his eyes and his mouth.
His eyes and mouth?
Yeah. Just all coming out of him.
Was this a Blumhouse production? That's some fucking Exorcist shit.
Right, and it's red wine on top of that.
So it looks like blood.
Yeah.
These so for real. That's horrible.
Well, normally you wouldn't share, but tonight seems like a good exception.
And if you're all drinking SBA vom,
Right.
like, if you want some wine that goddamn bad, sure.
It's not like you really had a choice in the matter anyway.
There is something funny to say about how the French game is like, my greatest treasure is a bunch of crates of wine. I've hidden them in my friend.
Esquier tells you in between puking up wine that he always told you to stop drinking alone anyway. Mael appropriately asks if there's any apple juice inside there as the night continues.
Oh, she's French. 16 is too old to be
That's
like.
true,
Yeah.
honestly, right?
Come on.
While everyone parties, you go to look out at the monolith.
I love that they're partying on your dime, too. Like,
Yeah, right.
She said, I'm going to expose you, and then socially forced you to get everyone drunk. And honestly, they do need it. Sometimes you do need that to close grief.
Decompress.
Yeah, you let go a little bit, and you're like, I feel like that's a little lighter, but Jesus Christ, she really was like, fuck you, pass me the bottle now.
Hell yeah. Well, as you look out at the paintress, Alicia approaches you, wearing her half mask. Silently, the two of you stand, side by side, staring at the paintress. Then she hands you a letter. You put it in your back pocket, then reach out and remove her mask, saying that your beautiful sister doesn't need this ugly mask.
Oh.
The two of you hug, but the moment is interrupted by the voice of Renoir saying, "You embrace her while condemning her to die."
Oh my God.
You ask if she led him here, and she shakes her head no in fear. Renoir says he's not here to fight and to calm down. He asks if you thought through everything. If you follow your plan, it's not just you, it's not just him that disappear. It's Alicia, the Gestrels, your friends, everyone. They all disappear forever. You might be willing to pay the price, but are you willing to let them pay the price for you? You let that question hang on the air, under the shadow of the monolith, as the night ends.
I feel like there's a prequel lore book that I missed out on. The way they're alluding to things and connections
Right.
and relationships.
It's one of those things that once you finish, then you go back and you re-listen to everything. You're like, Jesus Christ, holy shit.
It
It's
was
one of
so
those
obvious.
things. Yeah. Riding on the back of Esquier's floating body, you approach the magic barrier surrounding the Paintress's island. Mael takes the sword and thrusts it forward, shattering the blockade and ending the spell.
Hell yeah.
Finally on the island of the Paintress, you look up and can see her. Towering, tall over everyone, hundreds of feet tall, even in her squatted sitting position. crying into her knees as her long white hair drapes down to the ground. Maëlle says this is it. We can do this. For Gustave. Lune says, for all of them.
Lune has to come in and correct every goddamn thing. Jesus. Be chill for 10 minutes.
All lives matter.
Lune, no!
At this close-up distance, you can see that the paintress is basically a living statue, made of stone, seemingly planted in this location,
More like the sculptress.
with chunks missing from her arms and legs. Your party attacks, but can't do any damage whatsoever. You don't understand. You've done everything that was needed, removed her every protection. She should be taking damage. Maëlle walks forward, saying something is off. That's not the but the scene shifts to black and white.
Ugh.
Only this time, you're here with her instead of frozen.
Oh.
In the distance, you can see the female version of the curator. You tell Maëlle to stay away, but it's no use. Maëlle's head bursts into flames,
Whoa!
as do Sayel and Lune's.
Whoa!
All three women scream out in pain while you try and fail to put out the flames.
Oh my god.
You hold Maëlle helplessly as she burns to death in your arms.
What the fuck?
Then, suddenly as it started, the flames go out and color returns. All three women are unscathed, but remember the pain.
Oof.
Lune checks up on everyone, and then you all see the corpse woman here in the real world with you for the first time.
Oh no.
With a wave of her hand, she opens a circular portal in the fabric of reality and steps through it. You suggest that the group does the same, saying it might be your only chance, and you step through.
Why does everyone take a portal as an invitation?
Right?
Just because a door can open doesn't mean you need to go through it.
Oh, but if a portal opened up in front of you, would you not step through it?
No?
Oh, I would.
Tom, I don't drive to Summerlin. In what fucking world? I don't know if my passport's up to date. I don't know what I'm doing. I also love the food here. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, when you step out, you find yourself inside the monolith itself. Maëlle says she doesn't understand how she knows, but the real paintress is at the top of the monolith. Something is pulling her in that direction.
Oh no.
Inside is insanity, with another twisted version of the Eiffel Tower here, far larger than the real one. As you climb, you fight occasional Nevrons, as well as encounter strange parts of the map that have no color to them at all.
Oh no.
In these sections, you see part of the paintress's past, as she learned how to paint in her early years, and then passed on that knowledge to children of her own. How she and her husband couldn't make it work and broke up.
Oh.
Maëlle explains that these are the paintress's memories. Something about the chroma in this area. She can read it. The journey through the monolith itself, taking you through different areas you've already been through, like a greatest hits album of the game so far.
Huh. That's a clever way to reuse level design.
In one of the sections, the memory you see is of the paintress, standing over her son, as he practices playing a grand piano. Sayel notices you don't look so hot after that memory, and asks if you're okay. You insist that you are, and encourage the group to keep moving. The final memory shows the paintress and her husband getting back together.
Whoa, they made it work.
Their differences behind them. For the first time, you can see the front of these figures, as every memory so far has shown them from behind. The husband has a familiar face. That familiar face steps through the memory as the real-life Renoir approaches your party. You tell him that you're here to take her down. He tells you that the pain of you walking away all those years ago still hurts to this day. She forced him to take on that pain. He refuses to lose his son. You tell him that he lost his son years ago. He tells you that you need to stand by your family. You tell him that family is complicated.
I've seen every Fast and Furious movie, okay?
Renoir says that if saving you also means losing you, then so be it.
Jesus Christ, put your ego aside.
You tell Mael you only need to incapacitate him. She responds only if she doesn't fucking kill him first.
Hell yeah.
After a mighty battle, Renoir lays flat on his back, struggling for breath, as Mael stands over him, sword drawn.
Get it, girl.
He smacks her back with a blast of magic and stands up, his fresh wounds healing over like he's Wolverine.
Should have gotten him when you could, girl.
He turns to you and reminds you that he is your family. Alicia is your sister. You would condemn all of them to die, and for what? You tell him that this is your family now, and you'll die for them.
I met this adventuring party 6 days ago.
Right.
I love them.
Renoir slams down his cane, saying, then this will be the second fall of the Sandra family. But the world around you stops as the curator enters the room. Renoir sees him and says, at long last, we meet. Renoir gestures toward you, saying, this is all you have left of your son. Destroying it won't bring back your wife. The curator glides in your direction, but passes you and goes for Mael, reaching out for her hand. She takes it, and the two of them approach Renoir. Together, hands clasped, they place them on Renoir's chest. Renoir says, I love them too, as he begins to gommage and fade into nothing but flower petals.
Whoa.
The curator disappears, and Lune asks, what the fuck just happened?
I am surprised she doesn't have several theories she is pitching right now.
Well, she wonders immediately if Mael could do that again.
Run it back?
She's not sure what happened or how, but Mael is confident she can do it again even without the curator.
Oh.
Sael asks you what Renoir was talking about with the curator, and you say you're not sure. But the paintress is still alive and needs to be dealt with. You've made it so much farther than any expedition in history, and now she's right through the next door. You cross into the next section, which takes you up a mountainside to a cliff. There, you see the female version of the curator, who, as it turns out, was the actual paintress the whole time.
The whole time!
Sael notes the similarities to the curator even, having never seen her up close before. Then she remembers what Renoir said about the curator's wife, realizing that the paintress is his wife. The paintress sees you and asks if you're really here, walking forward. She thought, but the fire, are you really here? Then, turning to Mael, asks, or is he playing tricks again?
Again.
She asks Mael, Alicia, what happened to your face? Mael holds her face, asking, are you going to burn it again? Lune confirms with the paintress that Alicia is her daughter, and Sael realizes that Mael reminds her of Alicia.
Ah.
Then the paintress grabs you by the arm, saying it's time to go home. You pull back, saying she's right. It's time for her to go home.
I don't live with you anymore.
She says, this is another trick, isn't it? That's not Alicia, and you're not Verso, are you? You tell her, no. Verso's dead.
Whoa.
But that doesn't work for her either, saying that you are his creations, not hers. This simply won't do. Nobody will take this canvas from her. She unleashes all of her power, and the world begins to bend to her will. An oil painting that she can design as she pleases. You turn to Lune and remind her, this is why we have expeditions.
Hell yeah.
She replies, tomorrow comes, and prepare for battle.
Yeah, girl.
The fight is multi-phased, culminating in the paintress summoning her giant stone statue self to join the fight as well.
Whoa.
This prompts you to call in Esquier to help you fly around the battlefield in an effort to hurt the mammoth golem.
Yeah, also drop over some wine. We could use it. He's refilling fucking Nalgene bottles and shit.
After the Titan falls, the paintress lays on the ground panting. Mael, always the first to check, approaches, wondering if she's done yet. But you pull her back, saying there's one last fight left in her. You unleash hell on her. But all she does in return is heal your party members, having truly given up.
Oh, wait, that's so sad.
After the final blow, the paintress collapses in your arms and asks you why. You tell her to rest. It'll all be over soon. Mael approaches and places a hand on her chest, initiating her gommage.
Oh.
Just as she dies, she looks at Mael and calls her Alicia once more, and then fades to petals.
Oh. Weird power to have.
Right? As she does, more and more flowers fill the air, golden in color, as the number 33 fades away from the side of the monolith, leaving only stone behind.
It's gone?
It's completely gone.
Oh my god, they did it. They did it!
Mael sees this and asks out loud if this is all real. Sael exclaims that it is, and we're all free.
Oh.
Then hands Mael the Expedition 33 flag and asks her if she wants to plant it.
Hell yeah.
Historically, flags are planted at an expedition's final stand to show how far they made it. Seeing as this will be the final expedition, this flag will be purely symbolic.
Yeah, because no one's ever going to see it again after they're out of here. Oh, man.
Mael shoves it into the ground as the group looks back toward Lumiere, saying, "Let's go home."
Hell yeah.
Esquier flies over, offering to carry you back. On the flight, Sael dances around, excited because for the first time, she can make plans for years in advance.
She's also a little drunk. She's been sucking through the seams
She
on
absolutely
SCA.
has been.
She's like, SK, what's that? Tickle his belly button and shit.
Lune reminds her that while the expedition is over, there are still a shitload of questions left that are unanswered. Oh well, and Esquier blasts off towards Lumiere.
You know, sequel stuff. I love that SK just needed a little... How big is the rock that he needed to fly?
Tiny.
Okay.
So small. It's a handheld rock.
Okay, so it's not like he needed a platform to be flat on.
No.
Nothing for a wingspan. It's just a lucky rock, and now he's like, get on my back. We're fucking going.
Let's fucking do this.
I got in-flight snacks.
Back on the docks, where the game began, the city celebrates the downfall of the paintress, as well as your return. Kids and adults alike are fascinated by Minoko, a real-life gestrel, as well as the legendary Esquier, whom everyone always thought was a myth. But here he is, dancing and puking up wine.
He's got uncle behavior. This is everyone's uncle at a wedding.
Everybody's calling him an unk.
Yeah. He's doing his silly dance. He's throwing up vino. He don't give a fuck.
Mael has other matters to attend to, though. She sees Gustav's sister and apprentices, all eagerly awaiting his return. Silently, she delivers the bad news with a shake of her head,
Oh, that sucks.
handing over his journal to one of the young boys, who runs off sad that his mentor has died. Meanwhile, since you're over 100 years old, you don't really have anyone here to greet. So you sit by the water and decide to read the letter Alicia slipped you earlier. In it, Alicia explains to you that this note isn't actually for you. It's for Mael, and it's up to you after you've read it if you want to give it to her or not.
Oh, no.
The real note says that it's strange watching Mael interact with her brother. Mael's face being the pure version of Alicia's. Her family being a copy of Alicia's. Her world being a mirror to the real one.
What?
Painted by Mael's real mother, the paintress, in her attempt to preserve the family that was destroyed by fire, some of whom were lost entirely.
Oh my god.
The gommage is an act of love on her part. The numbers she paints upon the monolith being those she has the ability to save that year. The other one, the man, Mael's father, he wants to erase us entirely, seeing these paintings as perpetual torture, a constant reminder of what was lost. But maybe Mael will find another way. The only one who has lived amongst both the living and the painted. Maybe she differs from her father and sister just as Alicia differs from her own. As Mael's mother paints life, while her father paints death. Asking Mael, what will she paint?
Oh my god, it's a metaphor for fucking grief.
Oh my god, you have no idea.
Oh!
But Mael won't ever see that question. As you drop the note in the ocean out of shock,
Oh.
realizing that your entire world is nothing more than a painting on someone's easel. A mother's last-ditch effort to see her family as she remembered them before fire that disfigured one child and killed the other. Your outie being the one that died.
Oh my god.
As the note hits the water, an explosion occurs in the distance on the island of the monolith. A shockwave overtakes everything, plunging the world into shadow. As it consumes Lumiere, the celebration ceases, as every single person in attendance begins to go maj. Children, adults, Gustav's sister and apprentices. Then, Sael, Lune, and finally, Mael herself. You sit completely alone on the dock, watching the world fade away as the screen fades to black.
What the fuck?
Words appear saying,
Oh my god.
a glimpse in the past. Monolith, year 49.
What?
A house burns, and Verso can be seen, standing in the flames, untouched and unharmed. That all changes rapidly as he holds out a hand saying, "You're okay." Then suddenly, he burns up in seconds. Mael awakens from another nightmare. Only, it's not Mael. It's Alicia. Face burned from fire in her bedroom. In the real world. Outside her window, the Eiffel Tower can be seen, straight and tall as it should be. She hears her name called from downstairs. She attempts to respond, but can't, her vocal cords having been ravaged by fire.
Oh, this poor girl.
Taking us into the epilogue. Alicia. You take control of Alicia, and exiting your room, you enter the manor that you've been slowly exploring throughout the course of the game, opening different doors along the way. But this mansion is more colorful and brightly lit than the painted counterpart. The voice continues to call out for you, leading you to a back door that was previously locked on every one of your trips to the manor. You approach the open door and find yourself in an art studio. Paintings hang on the wall, depicting gesturals, the accents, landscapes, and other things you've seen while hunting down the paintress. But the largest painting in the room is the one that catches your attention at 20 feet tall.
Whoa.
It doesn't catch your attention due to its size,
Oh.
but because the image is moving.
Whoa.
White, blue, and black swirl together on the canvas, constantly in motion. Two people are standing looking at it, a man and woman. The man is standing while the woman sits. They're both transfixed and unmoving, as if hypnotized by the ever-shifting paint. Their eyes glossed over white, with the same shifting paint job as the painting staining the skin around their eyes. A woman named Clea comes around from behind the painting, saying, "Our parents are still inside the canvas fighting each other."
Oh.
As she says this, her eyes, which had the same swirling paint job around them, begin to fade back to normal skin, as she was clearly inside the painting with them. Renoir has Mama imprisoned at the top of the monolith, and she has him trapped under it. They're currently at a stalemate. Even though you can't speak, you can still communicate with Clea somehow, as she understands your thoughts, basically. You tell her you're worried about Maman. She's been inside the painting for so long now. Clea says she's fine. She's been inside paintings for far longer than this. And dumbass Renoir is trying to help someone that doesn't even want his help. A complete waste of time for everyone involved.
Ugh.
You ask if she saw Verso in there, and she gets upset, saying that Verso's dead. The person inside the painting is just a copy built from the memories of your mother.
Oh, wow.
You'd do well to remember that before you go getting lost like our dear mother, clinging to a family she no longer has. That's why Clea gave Renoir the ability to erase Maman's creations. Over time, she'll weaken and Renoir will get stronger, allowing him to destroy everything but that damn fake family. She, for some reason, made them immortal. Fortunately, they're all kind of useless idiots.
She said her kids are fucking stupid. Don't worry about it, baby.
Clea says she has to leave. The family is making a bad name for painters all over the world, and she needs to go head off and debunk any rumors swirling.
Now she's on PR duty?
Yeah.
What is her role?
Honestly, I don't know. Clea, I feel could have been written out.
Head of marketing?
Not gonna lie.
Okay.
You offer to help, but she says you're too weak to do anything useful. You'd just be a liability.
She doesn't like this family.
The writers already used you once before. They will do it again given the chance.
The writers! We're adding another medium to this.
Oh, right. Who knows if they would have her make the same choice and sacrifice herself to save you from the fire. He traded his life to save yours, that damn fool.
Whoa.
Then Clea says that if you want to be useful, go inside the canvas and help Renoir. He's needed back here in the real world anyway. You're scared to enter, and she reminds you that the only reason they entered the canvas was because Verso died due to your naivete.
Huh.
So you owe it to everyone to help.
She's a bitch.
She really is.
This is not a kind way to speak to a child that's been through a lot of trauma.
She is very manipulative.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget to repaint your throat once inside, or else people are going to have a really hard time communicating with you. You approach the swirling canvas, and remember a time when you and Verso used to play inside it. There, he painted Esquier and Monoko, who would spend time playing and adventuring together. You and Clea come up with a plan to hide the canvas. That way, when Maman is brought out of her trance, she won't know how to find it and won't be able to return. This way, you won't have to destroy Verso's final painting. Realizing that if you weren't stuck in that fire, none of this would have happened. You enter a trance and go inside the painting once more. While you are between the painting and the real world, you become surrounded by chroma particles, controlled by the paintress. Clea's voice rings out that if you're not careful, her magic will take control of you and you won't be able to paint yourself into the canvas. The chroma surrounds you, and Clea says that it looks like you'll be reborn as one of her creations instead. Have fun! The screen returns to the words, Epilogue, Alicia.
Oh.
But the words erase, leaving the screen blank. A still frame of a newborn baby being held by two new parents fills the screen. Voiceovers of the parents welcome their new daughter into this fucked up world. A montage of Mael's life plays out as the mother tells baby you that you will barely get a chance to know one another thanks to the gommage, but you will live a full and complete life, filled with love, loss, learning, and everything else life has to offer. The epilogue concludes as we head into Act 3, Mael.
Je t'aimerai toujours, je rêverai encore.
Right? An act after the epilogue? Insanity.
And kind of two epilogues. They
Right?
put up two title cards
Well, it went
for
backwards. They erased the epilogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Not in a million fucking years with infinity guesses.
Oh, we're not there yet. You are back in Lumiere, just after the final gommage took everyone. Only one person remains, sitting on a bench in the town square. Verso.
My dumb dipshit emo brother.
Your hair is white, and you take a seat next to him. He welcomes you as Alicia. Then the camera reveals your pristine and perfect face as you say, I actually prefer Mael. Verso says he does too. But then again, he's not really Verso, and you're not really Mael, are you? You agree that while he looks and sounds like Verso, he's not really him. But you are really Mael. You're the only version of her that ever existed. He stands and you ask why he never told you the truth, even though he knew it from the very beginning. He apologizes, saying he wanted to, but couldn't figure out the right way to say it. Then you apologize, saying that if you hadn't trusted the writers, Verso would still be alive. Which makes the person standing in front of you say, and I wouldn't exist.
Oh.
You tell him it was cruel of Maman to paint you into one of Verso's canvases, acting like Verso never died and only you were injured. He says that erasing the canvas is the best thing for it. But you disagree. The real Verso loved the world he created and the friends he literally made along the way. Monaco, Esquier, the other Gestrels, he'd want them to live. Verso says that none of them are real. He's not even real. Staying in this world with her fake family is literally killing your mother. But you tell him, he's real to you. Doesn't that count for anything? Then you smile, saying, Dad's here anyway. He'll fix everything. The real Renoir is a lot nicer than the one Maman painted. Verso doesn't understand. The paintress will likely just enter the canvas again and start over. But you tell him, the painting's hidden. She won't ever return. Which means the painting doesn't have to be erased. Which is also why Renoir is happy to help. He'll repaint the world as it was, now that it's safe from the paintress. In the center of town, you find the curator. With a wave of his arm, he transforms into Renoir.
Oh.
Not the same one we fought before, a much softer, calmer, and gentler version. You gleefully shout, Papa, as the two of you run to embrace each other. He asks why you're here. He told you to stay home. You say that technically your body still is at home. He laughs, then turns to Verso, saying that he truly is Eileen's finest work.
Oh.
Eileen being the paintress's true name.
That's beautiful.
It's a shame she put her best work into this mess. He apologizes that oblivion is the best respite he can offer for the pain Verso has suffered. You ask what he means. The painting is hidden. He doesn't need to destroy it. Renoir tells you not to be ridiculous. Eileen will find it, and as long as it has a piece of Verso's soul inside it, she will always return here. You protest, saying that it's the only canvas left of Verso's. If we destroy it, then we'll have nothing left of him. Plus, you grew up here. Yes, you grew up out there too, but you spent 16 years in here.
Yeah.
He can't just destroy your home. He asks how you could possibly consider this home. You tell him you have nothing to live for out in the real world. You can't even speak. Here, you're a complete person. You're whole. He can't take that away from you, not now.
She's just like the guy in Avatar.
Right, seriously. Renoir pulls a father knows best, telling you that this canvas will be erased, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Because I said so.
He slams down his cane, and a pulse of dark energy emits from it, kicking up flower petals from those who recently passed.
Oh, God.
Looking over at Verso, you see red flower petals surround him as he begins to gommage. You hold out your hand, unleashing a power you never knew you had, stopping the gommage from occurring.
Whoa.
As the flower petals change from red to gold. Then you hear from above, Mes amis! As Esquier comes flying in and lands hard on the ground next to you.
Mon coeur.
From Esquier's back, Monoko calls, all aboard!
Yes!
You grab Verso by the arm and escort him over to Esquier and Monoko. A swarm of petals rise into the air, and you hold out your arm saying you can feel them. You magically pull the petals toward you, collecting a large bundle and holding it tight to your chest as you climb up Esquier. Renoir, the nice one, watches you fly away on Esquier while he stands, surrounded by Nevron guards.
Oh, wow.
At camp, you practice your newfound powers, which, as it turns out, were the same abilities your parents have: to erase as well as create.
Who are you practicing this on?
You're practicing with the rose petals that you collected.
Oh, I thought you were like, Eskia, come here one time. Boop, boop.
No.
Haha. Here you are. Now you're gone. Now you're back again. Ah, I'm magic.
Well, you try to create using the rose petals you collected, but you're having difficulties. Verso says to think of their faces. Painting isn't about copying. It's about capturing the essence, the way they think, feel, and emote. With his tutelage, you try one more time. A powerful burst of energy emits from you as Sayel and Lune appear in front of you.
Oh, you could have left Lune, but this is great.
Both amazed that they're back from the dead. They notice your gray hair, and you tell them that you have a lot to catch up on.
You could have just be like, it was a stressful week. You guys were gone for a while.
Well, after you lore dump, Lune rounds on Verso saying he knew the whole fucking time and didn't say shit.
And it's really more personal than that. Lune's mad she was out of the loop.
Yeah, pretty much. Verso just takes the abuse and shame, as Sayel realizes that if you brought her back, then you can bring back others who have been gommaged. You tell her that it would take a shitload of chroma, and right now, Renoir controls all of it. Lune corrects you, saying that Gustave noticed that the dead bodies of former expeditioners still have chroma in their bodies.
Oh, no, this isn't a fun conversation.
You can absorb the leftover chroma from their bodies.
Let's go harvest the dead.
Maybe that will be enough to bring back a few of them and you can create an army. Monoko stands tall and says, "It's time for the greatest expedition in history."
Hell yeah.
That night, Verso gets yelled at by Lune some more,
Seriously regretting bringing Lune back at this point.
saying she knew she couldn't trust him. He promises that any lies he told were for the greater good, and that he will spend the rest of whatever this life is proving he's on the same side. And he will help bring back all the gommaged.
I know people like this. You're not winning her back.
Not at all. Sayel, on the other hand, got over the whole thing pretty quickly.
Everyone's happy for Sayel to be back. Sayel's great.
Now that she knows she will be seeing her husband again soon,
Oh,
she doesn't really give a shit about anything else going on.
yeah, reasonable.
Whatever Verso did got them to this point. Plus, she would sacrifice Verso in a heartbeat to see her husband again. So she admits she's not perfect either.
Love makes you do things.
But he better make sure she gets her Pierre back.
His name's Pierre.
His name's Pierre.
Ooh la la.
Verso then comes to you, warning you that if you fight Renoir, you risk another fracture. And then you'll be the paintress, stuck inside the monolith. You ask what other alternative you have, and he says to just go home. The cycle we needed to break wasn't the gommage. It's your family's fucked up cycle of grief. Aline wants Verso back. Renoir wants you and Aline back. You want Gustave back. You're all grieving and you're all fucked up.
And no one has thought to go to a therapist.
Never. Are you kidding me?
Jesus Christ.
This entire world suffers because of the grief of the Desandra family.
Truly.
Verso goes to his best friend Esquier, and he laughs, saying everyone's mad at him.
He's doing it like, ha ha.
Yeah.
Nobody likes you.
Verso asks if Esquier is mad at him. Esquier says that he can be sad, or bad, or even rad,
Hell yeah.
but never, ever mad.
Esquia's the best.
Bad things happen when Esquier gets mad.
Esquia is the Hulk.
Basically, right? Lune and Sayel talk with you about everything going on, amazed to find out there's another world out there they'll never even see. You apologize for everything, saying that you would have said something had you known. But now that your memories with Alicia have merged, you remember 2 childhoods, 2 homes, 2 Lumieres. Sayel says you thought you were an orphan. Now you know you're not. Don't you want to go back to that?
Wasn't that the better option, babe?
You explained that you've had a lot of families in your lifetimes, from foster care to actual parents. Not all families are great,
It's true.
but this family right here is a great one, so you're fighting for it. Instead of making us actually go through the entire game and absorb magic from dead bodies, we are treated to a montage of us doing it.
That's good. When you mentioned that, I was like, oh, they're going to double down on the assets they created.
No, not at all.
They're like, no, we get it.
With your small battalion raised, you land at the docks of Lumiere, the smeared Eiffel Tower filling the background. You draw your sword and point it directly at Renoir's Nevron forces. In a commanding voice, you declare, "Tomorrow comes,"
Yeah.
as your army charges forward. You battle through Lumiere, all the way to the base of the tilted tower, where Renoir stands alone, waiting for you. You tell him he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to erase the last piece of verso you have left. Renoir tells you he has zero desire to do this. He loves verso as much as anyone in the family. But sometimes, life gives you hard choices. This canvas is destroying the Desandra family. He will do anything to save his family, including erase the last piece of art one of them created. We do what we must. Sayel steps up, saying that grief often blinds us. Renoir's like, whatever, you grieve for 2 people. She retorts that she grieves for many. Lune then comes in, saying that parents leave their marks on their children, but at the end of the day, the only voice inside their head should be their own. You can't set boundaries for their entire lives. That's not how parenting works. You finally stand up to your father, saying that after the fire, he encouraged you to find the joy in life. You tried, but your every breath was agony. Verso died because he saved you. And every day you were reminded of that fact when you looked in the mirror.
Oh,
What joy was there to be found?
Jesus.
Renoir slams his cane down to silence you. He says that every word you and your friends have said, he agrees with,
Ugh.
and is true. But it changes nothing.
You're correct, and I'm fully on your side. But also, fuck you.
He knows that you will likely hate him after this, but he's accepted that because he knows what he's doing is right and good for you. As a father, he has to look out for you, especially when you can't look out for yourself. You yell back that he treats you like you're still 5. He towers over you as he screams out that he treats you as if the shadow from the worst day of our lives is going to suffocate you and take you away from us too.
Ugh.
Realizing he will never relent, you pull out your sword, ready to fight your father for the fate of this painted world. Renoir turns back into the curator and summons his accents for this final battle. They were defeatable one at a time, but them plus Renoir proves to be an impossible battle. Every time you hurt Renoir, they heal him to full health.
Motherfucker.
Mid-battle, Minoko says that while he does love a challenging fight, this is bullshit.
I'm sorry, when the characters in the game are like, this one sucks. This one's really rough, you guys.
Suddenly, a portal opens in the sky. Verso says, no, she can't. Suddenly, Aline teleports down from above, the paintress herself. Renoir tells her she's too weak to be back here already. She spent decades inside, and it drained her. Coming back now will surely kill her. But she doesn't care. In fact, she summons her giant golem self, and you watch as it battles the accents from high above all of you, all while you deliver the pain to Renoir.
Oh.
As he is nearly drained of health, he unleashes his most powerful attack. He begins to monologue while performing the attack, but you jump up yelling, "Not this time."
There's nothing like a dad and biting comments to really nail it down.
Oh, right?
Oof.
You pounce him, forcing him flat on his back, with your sword shoved straight through him to the ground.
Oh.
You stand victorious as he changes back into Renoir. Beaten, he stands up, saying that it's ironic. The first time he got lost in a canvas, it was Aline who taught him how to return. The giant stone paintress, finished with her fight, hears Renoir talking. He reaches out to her, saying that she taught him how to harness the power to enter canvases, how to soar without flying too close to the sun. The stone giant reaches out to him in response. Together, they painted hundreds of canvases, creating worlds upon worlds. And she never let him forget that this power comes with a price. As the stone hand of the paintress comes within inches of Renoir, it dissolves into nothing.
Oh.
Renoir looks at the empty space where his wife's familiar once was, saying, "Yet here we are." You tell him to trust her now. Trust that she knows what she's doing. He says that he trusts what she taught him. You tell him that he just wants control. That's all this has ever been about. He couldn't save Verso, so he has to save you. Only you're not asking to be saved. You don't need it. Destroying the canvas won't help you move past everything. It just takes away the one place that made you feel good. Renoir tells you that he spent 67 years trapped in that monolith. Do you want to know why? With a wave of his hand, a portal opens, showing the outside world, where Aline just returned, sick and coughing, barely able to stand. Renoir says that this is what he sees every single day out in the real world. A sick wife, a dead son, a disfigured daughter, and his other daughter Clea off doing whatever the fuck she does far away from the family.
So no one really gets her.
Nobody understands Clea. That fire destroyed the Desandras. He's just trying to protect the ones who are left. You look at him and ask why he doesn't understand. That's how you feel about the people here in this painting. You can't lose them either. You've already lost so much in both lives. You don't want to lose Renoir either. You promise you won't stay in the painting forever, but you want to for at least a little longer. Renoir says he wants to trust you. You assure him that he can. Then he pulls you in for a hug, saying he'll keep the light on for you, saying he hopes you find peace. He tells you to hold on to each other as he forces himself to Gommage.
Oh.
The portal is still open, and Verso is visibly bothered by the sight of his creator struggling. Lune tells him not to, and he apologizes as he steps through the portal to the real world. But he doesn't make it there. He ends up in the space between. It's ethereal, almost like outer space, but with a floor.
Yeah, he doesn't have a body to go to.
In the center, a young boy, the same species as the curator and the paintress, can be seen painting a canvas. The same canvas that Renoir and Aline were standing in front of way back when. Verso's painting. Verso approaches the young boy with a hollowed-out face, asking if he's tired of painting now. He nods that he is, and Verso tells him it's okay to stop. As the boy stops, Verso begins to gommage. You enter the void behind him, noticing that he's fighting the gommage and isn't fading. Asking how he's doing that. He shouldn't even be able to exist in this plane.
Yeah.
Verso waves it away, saying that it's all part of being related to the paintress. Then he turns and asks why you lied to your father. Renoir knew you were lying too. You insist that you weren't. You really do intend to return someday. But you also don't trust him not to erase the canvas the moment you step outside of it. As long as you're in here, he won't do that. Besides, in the painting, you have a life. Out there, you barely exist. All during this time, the young boy had returned to painting. Verso walks over to him and tells him it's time. He can stop painting now. Their hands are about to touch when you slice your sword between them. Verso pulls out his sword, apologizing to you. Then you're given the choice as the gamer to decide the fate of the canvas.
Oh.
Fight as Mael or fight as Verso. Which would you like to do?
Verso.
You want Verso.
Yeah.
If you fight as Verso, after the fight, Mael immediately begins to fade.
Oh, fuck.
She begs you not to leave her in these final moments.
I made the wrong decision.
You assure her that she's an excellent painter. She can build her own worlds in which to exist. But it's time to let go of this one. She finally does, and fades into nothing. Eskie and Minoko enter the void, knowing what's to come. They walk over and hug you. As you tell them you'll miss them, they go maj away.
I don't like this ending. Never mind. I have regrets. Well, maybe the other one's gonna be better.
Sael barely makes it through the portal before she's gone, while Lune sits down and stares daggers into your soul as she fades away.
Oof.
You stand the painting child up, and the two of you disappear together. The screen goes black, and we see Epilogue, A Life to Love. Outside the real Desandra family home, in the real-world Lumiere, Alicia, Renoir, and Aline stand over Verso's grave, while Alicia clutches a stuffy version of Eskie tight in her arms.
Oh.
Even kinda pointless Clea shows up to pay her respects.
What the fuck, Clea?
But she leaves pretty much as soon as the family starts getting affectionate. Alicia, however, isn't just there to mourn Verso, because when she looks up, she sees all of her friends standing around the memorial. They wave goodbye as they turn to rose petals and fly away on the wind.
Oh.
So you want to see what happens if you fight as Mael instead?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
because I'm majorly bummed right now.
After the battle, you strike down Verso, and he says, "Please, Alicia, make him stop painting," as he begins to get pulled back through the portal. Then he begs you to unpaint him. You're the only one who can. Erase him because he doesn't want this life. You beg him to hold on. The whole point of all of this was to gain more time together. The life that was stolen from the both of you. He says one last time, "I don't want this life," as he's pulled back toward the portal into the canvas. The screen goes black. Your voice rings out over the blackness asking, if you could grow old, would you find a reason to smile?
Whoa.
Then words appear saying, Epilogue, a lift to paint. We see Lumiere, the painted version. The sun is rising over the city, which is once again flourishing and vibrant, full of life and people. Inside a theater, Eskie and Minoko welcome guests as the camera settles on Mael, standing in the aisle, looking for her friends while holding the hand of one of Gustav's apprentices. Sael waves from a chair and sits back down next to her husband Pierre.
Oh.
You take your seat, then stand again to call over some more friends. Gustav and Sophie.
Oh, this was the better one.
The lights dim, and the show begins. As Verso steps onto the stage to play the awaiting grand piano. Fury, rage, and sadness etched across his face.
Whoa.
Looking over at you, he sees the shifting paint across your eyes, indicating that you are controlling his every move.
Whoa.
With that, he stretches his fingers and plays over the credits as they roll.
All right, so fucked up for a couple people.
That was Clair Obscur, Expedition 33.
Zoot alors.
Fucking wild ass game.
That is one of the craziest scripts I've just ever heard of. Just the absolute ups and downs going through the entire thing is wild.
Wee woo entirely.
It's a lot of woo, woo, woo. Wee, woo, woo, woo.
I'm impressed with how much humor they're able to like inject in this game, considering how dark it goes.
It's a lot of SKA being a perfect whatever they are.
Perfect character. Yeah,
Perfect
that's
character.
true. That's very true.
I want a squishmallow of SKA.
I know, right? They have to have one, especially when they show Alicia literally holding one.
But I really want a squishmallow specifically.
like that brand.
Yeah, that softness. It's a different kind of softness than squish. Oh, it's so good. I love that.
And then you can poke him in his funny butt.
He has the funniest shit. Oh, you couldn't have painted something better. Well, that's a fucked up ending either way.
Either way, right?
Either way, no one has handled grief well. And grief is a very tricky thing to tackle, and it hits in waves, and some days are better than others, and some days suck and some days are manageable, and it comes from a place of love, but Jesus Christ, it sucks.
Shit, my dad has been dead for 14 years, and there are still times where I'm like, oh, I should call him. Oh, right.
Oh my God, I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
it still hits every once in a while, you know? Like, grief is a son of a bitch, but we all have to go through it.
Truly.
And it's, you gotta find healthy ways to deal with it, because otherwise you end up fucking up the world.
And ironically, like, for the mom, she's like maybe in her 40s or 50s. She's like, I might as well try painting.
Yeah.
She's gonna eat, pray, love this shit.
Takes up painting, right?
Turns into the fucking shit show for her entire family.
Yeah.
Now,
oh, goodness.
Now they live in the painting. But at least we get Esquier.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's a little Inception, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Little doses of Inception in there. Anyway. If you enjoyed that, please make sure you have liked our show, that you've subscribed to our show, you've commented, do whatever you possibly can.
As long as you're nice.
As long as you're nice. You can also check out our website, theothercastlepodcast.com.
That's theothercastlepodcast.com.
Over there we have links to everything that we have, our Instagram, Discord, our Patreon, where we have 2 exclusive shows where we do DLCs, histories, movie commentaries, and just general jib-jab. Kind of sounds a little bit like this.
I ended up on the Kara side doing something that 0% of gamers have done.
That's too much of a deep cut for me.
I know.
I can't even process it.
It's relevant to our show.
Don't make it relevant to the
It was. You didn't tell me we were going to be doing that.
I didn't?
No. You just kind of
Surprise, motherfucker.
Just kind of started doing it mid-episode. I was like, all right, let's...
You never told me this.
Yeah.
This is new information.
It's new information for me, too.
I sound...
And also, thank you to our Patreon producers that we give a little special shout out to every time. So first we got Aaron, Daniel, Ellen,
Krisha, Molly, Trenton,
Chase, Jutsu, X of Triforce,
Luigi, and JCC.
Thank you all so much for being here. If you want to check out the rest of our Patreon members, they're in the description below.
And we love you.
And we love every single one of you. And as always, this is Tom and Andrea reminding you.
Tomorrow comes, motherfucker.
And don't skip the cutscenes. Bye.
Au revoir.
Miroir du temps, nos histoires s'alignent. Dans le creux de nos mains, deux mondes se dessinent. L'un peint de rêve.